Hey, what's going on, guys? Is there anybody out there? How we doing? Oh, man. Let's see. All right. Hey, what's going on? All right. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Patreon stream. Hey, we're going to talk a little bit more Batman. Why not? Why not? And we got Phil right here. All right. Do it. Miss you, man. We'll talk soon. Hopefully, yeah. I mean, come on. It's so great to see it. So great to see it for a second time. It just adds to it, you know. So have yourself a good time there, Phil. Hey, you got Captain Gator Girl here. Let's see. Jose's going to be late, but please bring him on. Wow. So you guys do a lot of talking, apparently, huh? All right. What's going on, M Enterprises? What's going on here, Jason? We got Mr. Scully right here. All right. Hey, what's going on, Jorge? How you doing? All right. Get started here. I've been binge watching just Batman movies today, big time. Just seeing me on like Twitter, I'm just going through because I didn't do like a full-on rewatch when it came to the Batman. I just kind of I just went in and just said whatever the fuck. But I've been watching. I watched Batman Begins, Dark Knight, and Batman vs Superman. Now I'm in the middle of watching Zack Snyder's Justice League. Just getting it in, trying to figure out where the Batman stands when it comes to the top tier movies. Because, you know, when it comes to Batman, you know, your Batman Forevers and your Dark Knight Rises and your Batman and Robins, all stuff. I mean, that's a little lower tier, you know, even though I love Batman Forever because it's just so, you know, I don't know. I just love Batman Forever. But when it comes to like Dark Knight, Batman Begins, Batman vs Superman, Zack Snyder's Justice League, Mask of the Phantasm, all these. I mean, that's like top tier. That's like these are masterpieces right here. And when it comes to the Batman, I consider this is a Matt Reeves masterpiece of a Batman movie. So I'm like, where does it line up? Is it at the top? Is it somewhere, you know, in the middle? What's going on? So that's why I'm kind of doing like a rewatch. And it's interesting to watch, to go back and watch Dark Knight, Batman Begins, all of them, to kind of just after watching the Batman, it is interesting to watch, to kind of like gauge, because it's like, wait, when I'm like watching Batman Begins and Dark Knight, I'm like, man, we really thought that this was dark? I need fucking sunglasses right now. What the hell? This is dark? I don't know about that. After what I saw, after what Matt Reeves gave us, I need fucking sunglasses watching the Dark Knight and Batman Begins now. But what I'm loving about it, though, is the fact that the Nolan trilogy, the Dark Knight trilogy, really tackles things, like it tackles certain things that the Batman movie didn't have to tackle, you know? It tackled different things, and then the things that they did have to tackle, certain things when it came to the character, they both do it so different. I mean, it's just so different. It really is. You know, I hate it when people call the Batman, oh, it's just Dark Knight 2.0. I'm like, no, it's not. No, it's not. And for sure, the Dark Knight trilogy is more grounded than the Batman. As much as they were trying to ground, you know, Matt Reeves was trying to do like the whole ground the Batman thing. I would say that Nolan grounded it more for sure. Anyways, that's just what I'm saying. Hey, what's going on there, Mr. Venom? Batman was okay, beautifully shot. Love the intention and execution of the tone, but uneven otherwise for me. It's good. Bits are good, great though. That's cool. Yo, what up? I'll be home in a bit. I'll join. Okay, cool. Getting some brew. Get that brew, baby. Oh, we got Cat here. Meow. Oh my God, Saturday night. All right. True that. Not quite there yet. You know, we don't want it to be Sunday yet. It's Saturday. Let's party it up. I got my healthy seltzers, if that's even a thing. My vitamin, it's got vitamins and shit like that apparently. So cheers, guys. Saturday night's all right with me. Hey, what's going on, Shamagic? So my manager got me an audition for Manifest on. Ooh, good luck, sir. I really hope you get it, man. I hope you get it. And if you guys aren't following Mr. Shamagic right here, go to Instagram and check him out, man. I always like it when I open up my Instagram and I'm seeing like some up close card tricks or whatever the hell. I'm always trying to figure out how you do that stuff, but I know that's the fun part about it. I don't want you to actually tell me how you do these tricks, but I really enjoy that stuff though. Where's Harvey Dent? Good question, right? That is a very good question. All right, let me go ahead and invite. Let's invite the patrons. I'll posting it right now for the patrons. And something I actually started doing also for the Patreon, just because I was like, all right, I want to give as much exclusive content as possible. Hold on, let me post this real quick. First, there we go. Link. There we go. Okay. Post a link. Patreon link. Patreon link. There it is. Join the fun. There we go. All right, join the fun. Okay, so here we go. Sending that out now. All right, so look for that. But no, what I'm going to start doing for the to get more content over on Patreon is, sometimes when I'm not perfect. I struggle. Like today when I posted my video about Zack Snyder's Justice League being like, according to Diesel Labs, they did a whole data thing for 2021, and they talked about audience engagement when it came to HBO Max and full-on streaming. I did that video, but sometimes when you're trying to like put all this information in a short video that's supposed to be less than a minute, not always easy. So sometimes I mess up. And today I was kind of struggling a little bit. I was kind of messing up. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to start posting my outtakes. I'm going to start posting my outtakes to the Patreon, so you guys can hear. So, the funny ones, not all of them. I posted like 3 of them. Trust me, there was probably about 20. I felt like there was like 20 outtakes, but yeah. So I'm going to start doing that. Outtakes. I'm going to start posting some outtakes on my Patreon. So that'll be fun. All right. Waiting for these guys to show up. Posted it. Did I post it? I did. Okay, I did. Join the fun. Did I do that right? Okay. Maybe none of the patrons want to show up. What? That's interesting. I don't know. I guess I'll just talk to you guys for a little bit. Oh, I know. That Batmobile scene was pretty epic. What's going on, Rhea? Good to see you. I love that. It says elbow cough. Is that? No, you're dabbing. It's not elbow cough. You're not coughing into. Even though when you cough, you should cough into your elbow. I'm a firm. I always tell people that don't cough into your mouth. Cough into your freaking into your elbow or the crease of your arm. That's what you got to do. Yeah. All right, I'm still on the fence whether this is better than Dark Knight, but the Batman's Gotham is a bit. Oh yeah, the Gotham City was, awesome. We need the OnlyFans. You. Well, if things start going south, I'll start my OnlyFans. Don't worry. There you go. Yeah. Dave dabbing is word. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. People probably haven't checked Twitter yet and think it's. Oh, I know. I probably messed up because I was like, you know what? Why am I doing it at 8 o'clock? I should do it a little early, because I wasn't doing anything but watching movies, really. So I was like, I'm like, oh, let's just do it earlier. I know. So maybe that could be the case. Could be the case. I'm trying to look on Twitter right now and stuff. So I guess I'll just bullshit for a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, that could be it. All right. Have you seen Ben Shapiro's Batman review? He says at 12:20 shows he doesn't understand the ending. Also, he said Matt Reeves hates Batman. I could totally see that. That's Matt Reeves. He hates Batman. That's what it is. It's not good. It's not good. That's my Ben Shapiro impression. Yeah, I saw that he didn't like it. Whatever. I don't really care. I'm one of those guys that I'm like, I don't get affected by Ben Shapiro. Some people get triggered big time by Ben Shapiro. I'm just like, I don't. Remember, he was like I had his drop for and I hope they release the Snyder cut because Joss Whedon sucks. I had that one for a bit. I think I got rid of it because I didn't need it anymore. Yeah, but for like the long. Oh no, I still got it.
And also, I'm excited to watch the Snyder Cut because Joss Whedon sucks.
I still have it. I don't know why I used that version that somebody recorded off their phone. So yeah, I recorded that. Yeah, it was like recorded off the phone as opposed to having like the actual video. What's going on, Ryan? How you doing? Do you have a Discord for subs to hang out? I don't have a Discord. No, I've never really understood Discord. I mean, I guess that might be something I have to like learn about. I guess I don't know, but yeah, banning anyone that thinks it. Oh, hopefully Garza doesn't show up then. Like we should care about Shapiro. Who cares what anybody says? To be honest. The Batman was A++. Jose rules, Iron Fist. I know he does rule with Iron Fist. But yeah, I'm actually like surprised. I mean, maybe none of the Patreons want to join tonight. I mean, usually I do it. I mean, yeah, maybe it's because they thought 8 o'clock and I made that mistake. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, usually I'm pretty sure I posted the right. Yeah. All right. Maybe they're sick of me. The patrons are sick of me, man. Is everybody sick of me already? It's fine. But yeah, so it's posted. I mean, it is Saturday. A lot of people going to see the Batman again, so maybe. Yeah, it might just be me and me and you, Jose. We'll have a nice little conversation. What did Hasbullah think? Not sure. Who's here? Stephanie's here. Well, some people get sick of me. It happens. It does happen, which is fun when that happens. Certain people do get sick of me. But it's funny because, I don't want no beef. What's going on, Music Man? Who wants, you want no beef? I don't want no beef. I don't need no beef. Yeah. No, it's fine. No, but yeah, it tends to happen. I mean, it's funny when when you look at your Twitter and you see beefs on there. I try to avoid it with other YouTubers. I don't want to have beef with other YouTubers. I really don't. I try not to. I mean, of course, there was like beef when it came to like a certain little group of couple of people, which we know who I'm talking about. But that was just because they were putting out so much false information and so much misinformation, whatever you want to call it. So, but that was just when that's what I hate about the scooping game. One thing about the scooping game is I love it. It's like, oh hey, praise me for being right. That thing, that scoop I had that spoiled the movie you're looking forward to. Well, you better tell me that I'm right. And then when I'm wrong, I'm not going to acknowledge it. That's the scooping game right there. It's usually what it is. That's why I hate the scooping game. As much as I enjoy finding out things, but and I when it came to the Snyder Cut stuff, I was trying to get information out there because I got contacted by somebody close to the man. So that was doing my part to try to get shit out there. But now I'm like, I really don't care about scoops trying to find shit out, or get connections or whatever the fuck. I'm like, who the hell cares? I just really don't. So, Batman Forever, period. Yes. Thank you. Yeah, I love this shirt. I figured, I was like, you know what? I got to continue wearing Batman shirts. And I was like, oh, I'll wear the Flashpoint Batman. Why not? Watching Batman for the second time tomorrow. I'm watching it for the third time tomorrow, so that'll be cool. I'm already seeing people attack those who didn't like the movie. Haven't we learned? Like, who cares? I know. People didn't like the movie. Who gives a shit? So, Mr. Film Gob. Yeah, he's not a fan of mine anymore. So, he's been on the Vodka stream before. A couple of years ago, he was on the Vodka stream. But, yeah. He doesn't like me anymore. Everybody saying hi to each other. Skip Bayless. Yeah. I'm currently in the middle of writing my own Batman series. Ooh, that's pretty cool. That's cool. Love the movie, but want to see it again to make... Yeah. Do it. Yeah, she's definitely better than Gyllenhaal. it's one of the things that when it comes to the Dark Knight, as much as I love the Dark Knight, I just really wish it was still Katie Holmes. She just was better. Yeah. And that's the thing about Batman Begins and Dark Knight is they're so distinct, even though it's the same director and same, mainly the same people, except for, of course, Rachel. But it's like the tone is totally different in both of them, which I think benefits from it. But man, it just Dark Knight would have been even better if it was Katie Holmes. Katie freaking Holmes. You have a favorite part of the Batman? I like the Riddler and Batman. That through the glass scene. The Batmobile scene was excellent. Yeah. Just little stuff like that, and the Alfred and Bruce scene in the hospital was great also. I mean, it's hard to pick like a super favorite, but I mean, that might be, that scene in GCPD where he punches him. Yeah. And by the way, if anybody's, I'm just letting you know, we're going to be talking spoilers when it comes to the Batman. And everything. Man, nobody's joining. This is new. I would have thought usually Eric's like the first one to join. I hope he's okay. I haven't really seen him like mentioning. Usually when I post about it, and I mentioned I was going to be doing the stream this weekend. I know Jose is going to be joining pretty soon, so it might just be Jose and I just like talking for a little bit here. I don't know. I know Phil will like to join too. He's part of the Patreon, but he's going to see the movie. Maybe everybody's just out Saturday night. Live it up. Hey, that's fine. You don't have to talk to me for a little bit, but we'll see Jose join up. But I'm actually surprised. Usually Eric's like the first one to join. Usually William is joining too, but I haven't really heard from him either. So I don't know. We'll see if those guys join up, but I know Jose is going to be doing this. White Claw, I don't really like. If I'm going to do a seltzer, I like the Bud Light seltzers are all right. These Vizzy ones are pretty good. They're not bad. I know. I'm getting white girl wasted, guys. No. Well, I had some beers. I had some Modelo's in my fridge, but I wasn't gonna. I was like, nah, I'm gonna do seltzer tonight because, just felt like doing it. Just didn't feel like beer tonight, so I was like, all right, let me get these little fuckers. I mean, like I said, it's got vitamin C and antioxidants, so who knows? But cheers. I don't really, but White Claw, I don't know. White Claw and those Trulies, I don't know. For some reason, I'm okay with the Bud Light ones. Who knows? But the Baja Blast, I've not had those. I said I don't like it when it's like too sweet. These run a little bit sweeter than normal ones, but it's not too bad. But yeah, if it's something's I don't like too sweet. I'm not a sweet kind of guy when it comes to alcohols. That's why I drink the hard stuff like as I did last night. I drank that Bullet bourbon last night, or vodka, or I just don't like anything too sweet. I want to feel like I'm actually tasting it. I want that bite. I want that bite. Are you getting any Russian vodka soon? I know, right? That's so sad when you see. I mean, I just love how we are human beings. We're doing our part by recording ourselves pouring out all our Russian vodka in protest of what Putin is doing. And it's like, really? You already bought the bottles. Joke's on fucking you. You already bought the bottles. Now you're just wasting it. I'm like, send it over here. I'll drink it. Why are you going to waste all that vodka? My God, just because it came from there, but you already bought it. That's just like when people burn jerseys and CDs or whatever the fuck when in protest of somebody said something stupid. It's like, joke's on you. You already purchased that particular item or something and you're just going to waste it or burn it. It's like, Jesus Christ, people, they just want to pat themselves on the back. Like, I'm doing my part. Like, no, you're dumb. You're dumb. It's just that's not the way to do it. So let's just get your body pose ready. There you go. There you go. Yeah, no. So you get less bloaty, so like, when it comes to like stomach area, you could really just like, all right, I don't feel all blah, That's the thing about beers. You get all bloaty and shit like that. So, yeah. Ooh, looks like Jose has shown up. It's like it's going to be me and him. What's up, buddy?
Yo, what's up, Dave?
How's it going? You don't want to show your pretty face, huh?
I told you, man. I don't have a setup here. I'd rather just lay in bed and just be
Lay in
lazy.
bed.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, you're laying in bed. I don't know. Yeah. Okay.
I know, right? You don't really know what.
Yeah, I know. What could be happening if I start hearing some kind of lotion being applied to your?
I'm gonna start breathing like Riddler.
Dude, wasn't that creepy as shit?
Man, no, I would have been here sooner, but I was trying to change my picture and I fucked it up because it was just a black screen. I was trying to get. My picture was gonna be when Bruce is looking at Selena. And
which one? Which time?
when he's looking at her at her apartment.
Oh,
okay. He's outside and he's looking.
Oh yeah, looking all doing all. Isn't that the? Yeah, no, isn't the score song that Chiquino didn't he say like something about voyeur or something like that?
Well,
I think yeah, because I remember seeing that title when I was like listening to the score before I saw it. I went, huh. So there's gonna be a part where Bruce is spying on, and then sure enough, yes, there was.
Yeah,
and I enjoyed it. That was
before we get into it, let me just say hi to the chat because they get mad at me for not shouting them out.
Of course.
Hey chat, hey Gator Girl, hey Rhea. I see who's that. Joe, what up, Joe Star?
Yeah.
Everybody else.
They like your voice. You got a voice. But he's got a face for radio. That's what it is.
Hey, my face is on Twitter. That's my picture.
I know.
I'm not a catfish. I'm not a catfish. I swear that's me. I just
true.
I don't even have a chair in my room. Like my room is so small. Like I have my bed. That's it.
There's nothing wrong with that. But I don't know. I don't know if anybody else is joining. This is kind of strange. It's like the first time we're like,
yeah. Where's Eric? Yeah. Eric's like,
usually he's the first one to join, but he's been kind of quiet. So hopefully he's okay. Hopefully people are okay. But
we'll see. I mean, I was thinking, I was like, it is Saturday, and it's gonna be like people are probably watching the movie right now too.
That's what I'm kind of wondering if like maybe I know Phil like he's joined a couple of times when it comes to this, and he said he was seeing the movie, so he's not joining. So
I mean, could be that. I'm paying for this, so you gotta hear me talk, Dave. All right, so
I know, charging you to be on here. No, I appreciate it, man. I mean, you're supporting you're supporting the channel, but yeah, let's dive into. I'm curious. I mean, I've seen obviously that you enjoyed it, of course.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I enjoyed it. I don't think it's like a 10 out of 10 masterpiece. I don't, but honestly, I don't think a lot of movies are like that. But it's really good. I gotta watch it again. I'm gonna go watch it again tomorry.
Nice. So a lot of people are.
Right now, I got it at an 8.5. When I watch it tomorrow, it might go up to a 9. I don't know, but
I mean, it's funny too, is because I was saying earlier that I've been going back and watching. I watched Batman Begins, Dark Knight, Batman vs Superman. I'm in the middle of watching Zack Snyder's Justice League right now, just because I didn't do any rewatches. I think the only rewatch I did was the movie that you love the most, which is Dark Knight Rises. I watched that. I watched that like weekends ago. I know, because it was just there. It like when I opened up my HBO Max, it like showed up. And I'm like, you know what? I haven't watched in a while. Let me put it on. Yeah, and it's funny too because now going back and watching Batman Begins, Dark Knight, I'm like, God damn. These two are just so fucking great because
even just Batman Begins and The Dark Knight, like The Dark Knight feels like a completely different movie to the Batman Begins.
But then when you get Dark Knight Rises, it's like it tries to still be Dark Knight-esque. Like it still tries to have that feel, but then it's just I don't know the story and the thing. I don't know. It's just kind of
the story's not that great, and then the performances aren't that great either. Like the third act, it just falls apart. I'm like, what the hell just happened? It's like Nolan just like phoned it in at the end there and said.
Well, I think what it was just like maybe he had this whole other idea and he was going to use the Joker again. Maybe that was going to be the case.
No, yeah, that played a big part. He's unfortunately dying. That ruined a lot of the future of the franchise. But
true.
I don't know. I just don't.
There he is.
Who's that?
Eric showed up.
You wondering where I was. Well, the thing said that we would start at 11, so I waited.
See, I know I bumped it up. What's
up, Eric?
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Thanks for telling us in advance, Dave.
I did. I posted it on Twitter. I like over like an hour ago. I said, "Hey,
you gotta have the notifications on, Eric. Come on,
yeah. What the hell, man?"
I happen to check YouTube, and the YouTube stream said open. It said we started 11, so until 11, I was watching Peter Gunn.
Oh, who? Up. Then we got Miss. Oh yeah, now they're all coming in.
Oh, see, I started it.
You got Jacob. We got Rhea here. We got everybody showing up, man.
Oh.
Fellow patrons, what's going on, everybody?
This is literally my first time on here.
Yo.
It is your first time. Welcome.
For sure.
Look at that. Rhea with the Dodger hat. I love it already.
Oh, I know. I might have to kick her out. I don't know.
Oh yeah, no. I'm not from LA, but I got this as a souvenir.
That's fine. It's not a problem.
So she's not really a fan, Jose. So I'll keep her in here. By the way, are we even gonna get a baseball season? Doesn't sound like
man,
it.
don't even. Man.
I know, dude. I know.
They already canceled the first. What? The first 2 series have been canceled.
Yeah, I think opening day and like the first few games, first couple weeks of games are done. It's like it's ridiculous.
It sucks.
That does suck. Anyways, so welcome guys. How's it going, Jacob? Good to see you, buddy. I love the poster in the background. Rhea, thank you for joining too. And yeah, like I said, it's your first time and always seeing you in the chat and everything. So I appreciate it. Coming in. Yeah. And so what are you drinking first off, Eric?
All right, me? Well, I figured that hey, in honor of the Batman, I decided to have a Bruce Wayne champagne.
What is it called?
Granny's Peach Tea?
No. Bruce Wayne champagne. You remember near the beginning of the Dark Knight Returns?
Ah, okay.
I try to forget.
Yeah. For those of you who did not read the comic or watch the animated film, there's this early on, like Bruce and Gordon, who's retiring. They're like sitting around, like or whatever, and they joke around because he knows Bruce is drinking this in a champagne glass, and he's drinking champagne in a champagne glass, and Gordon asks, remember back when you were fooling everybody with a champagne glasses filled with ginger ale. The idea was he did that so that he would never be drunk, but everyone would think that he was just being part of the party.
Yeah. What's funny about that too is like when going back and watching Batman Begins and Dark Knight, they really emphasize the fact that it's like, okay, is he really? I mean, obviously in Batman Begins when he kicks everybody out because he needs to and he acts drunk.
Yep.
It's like what is he actually drinking? Is that really champagne? And then there's that little detail in Dark Knight when he walks out after talking, about Harvey Dent, where he just kind of throws out like the champagne, and it's like a little detail. It's like, yeah, he's not drinking. It's only until we get 20 years later and we get the drunky bat, but he still kicks ass.
Yeah.
Right?
Casual, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm assuming everybody's seen the Batman here, right?
Yep.
I just watched it.
You just watched it? Okay. So Jacob, you just watched it.
Yeah.
Okay, so today. Okay. And thoughts since you're fresh out of it? Is that full vodka right there?
Right. What is Rhea drinking? What is that?
Oh, it's a 50-ounce bottle of water.
Oh.
Yeah, we got water drinkers here. Cheers. I'm just kidding. No. Anyways, what's your take? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, ultimately, I just thought it was fine.
Fine. Okay.
I mean, but I don't know. I think I really enjoyed probably the most Zoe Kravitz's Catwoman.
Good.
I enjoyed the rest of the cast for the parts they played.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, Zoe Kravitz. There's something about her, man. She's just like she's so tiny, but she's just like.
Did you see those pictures she posted today?
Yeah, I did.
Good Lord.
I did. She's a sexy little thing. I'll tell you what. Hey, anyways, Rhea, your thoughts?
Yeah, so standout characters for me were definitely Selena Kyle. Some things that I had criticism about going into the movie was if they would shoehorn in the romantic tension between Bruce, or I guess Batman and Selena Kyle too much, and it would overwhelm the rest of the narrative and all these other relationships and investigation plots that are supposed to happen in the movie. But luckily, the movie surprised me by not having that be too much of a focus. It's just that the marketing really suggested that would be.
You're actually, yeah, you're right, because they literally had a trailer that was the Bat and the Cat to kind of emphasize, that. And I was kind of thinking of that too. I'm like, how much? And I was actually surprised how little it didn't have. I mean, they share a kiss, obviously. We're going to see that. But there wasn't, I was like, is there going to be a scene where they, take off the costumes, or what I'm talking about? Is there going to be that
Batmobile, of course?
Right on top of the Batmobile. We all remember that stupid rumor that was like a year ago.
Yeah.
And no, but I was like wondering, I'm like, is it gonna get to that level? And it didn't. And I was like, okay, good. It was a nice little build of like, yeah, there's something there. And then obviously with the end, when they kind of they go different directions and everything on their motorcycles, I was like, you know what? Good. That was actually a good way to kind of do that, because obviously she's going to come back. There's no way that she doesn't come back for the sequel, So, and then of course she's going to probably get her own series. Eric, so what were your thoughts?
Well, I'll say this: it was probably, it was a good thing that it took me I saw it last night, because here's the thing. When I watched it out, I walked out of the theater, I was like, I really am going to need a day to process this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But I'll just say this, I'll say this at first, the more I think about it, the more I like it. And one thing that I really liked about it is it really does emphasize that, yes, this is his first or second year. We're into his second year. And at this point, it's not like with as realistic as Nolan's trilogy was trying to come across as. There was still the whole thing where pretty early on, Bruce is able to put on that Playboy persona, but in this one, arguably a bit more realistic than that is that, look, is he going to be able to formulate that right away? Probably not. And the idea here is that even just like Michael Caine's Alfred, Andy Serkis's Alfred is telling him, look, you do this, you keep doing this where it's being this recluse, people are going to people are going to get suspicious, and it's you're going to have to come up with a persona, and at this point, and Bruce is like, Alfred, I got to focus on this right now. I really got to focus on this.
Yeah, and it was funny too, because when he's he finally is he's clean shaven, everything's he's clean, and then he's gonna go to the funeral. Alfred was visibly happy. He's like, "What? You're going out? Oh shit!" And then it was to the point where he was all decked out, but he didn't have his cufflinks. And then Alfred's like, "Come on, man, you have to have cufflinks, come on." And then he decides to give him his, which that was a nice little exchange, because it had the Wayne logo on it, I guess. It was almost and then he says, well, your father gave me these, so, and it was just, and it kind of just stopped Bruce in his tracks. There's little moments like that, especially with the Alfred and Bruce exchanges. There's only 3 or 4 of them maybe throughout the movie, which I know some people are complaining that he's not in there a lot, but I'm like, yeah, but he was in there just enough, I thought.
What did y'all think of Andy Serkis's portrayal of Alfred?
I loved it.
It was good.
And honestly, for all people's talk about how he's barely in it, for all his talk about he's barely in it, look, honestly, his portrayal, it's very much if you remember Silence of the Lambs, Anthony Hopkins is apparently only in the movie for about half an hour.
Oh yeah.
But it seems like he's the star of the movie, and he got an Oscar for it because those moments, those short scenes where he's in the movie are spread out so beautifully that it seems like he's in it more than he really is.
Yeah, and I mean, even with Penguin in this, it's
Yeah.
I mean, I remember Colin Farrell said, he's not in it, consistently, but he's in it throughout.
No, he was in it the whole movie.
He said, I mean, that's what it, but there was like, when I was watching it again, I'm like, yeah, there's like good chunks where he's not, or like he briefly is in it, like especially when Bruce shows up to Falcone, which God damn it, when I was watching Batman Begins and they kept saying Falcone, 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 it was annoying me. I'm not gonna lie, I was like, I forgot that they called him Falcone in Batman Begins, and I was like. Yeah, I was like, I don't like Falcone. I like Falcone.
Yeah, for me, because that was where I first heard the name, I always thought it was pronounced Falcone. So I was a little irritated by just Falcone. And then it's like, oh, that's really how it's pronounced? Okay.
No, I like Falcone because it's different, because you got Falcone and then you got Maroni.
Maroni, I know. It's like we don't need
both.
at the end of these mob boss guys.
Yeah.
It's like
So
when I was watching Batman Begins, I was like, I'm not liking Falcone anymore.
Yeah.
I was like,
But like back to Alfred for a bit, one thing I really got a kick out of the fact that, look, thanks to Nolan's films, it's become pretty much a consensus that Ra's al Ghul trained him, or at least had a part in training him. Like I believe Gotham made reference to that. But in this movie, it was Alfred. Alfred trained him how to fight.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said something about that. Yeah. So I'm kind of curious if they like dig deeper into that when it comes to the sequel, because I'm like, all right. He talks about like he was supposed to protect the Waynes, Yeah. So it almost sounds like he's the butler, but also a bodyguard kind of thing, So
and this certainly makes sense because and for the longest time, I don't know if anyone can tell me like exactly when when they started the backstory, when they created the backstory that Alfred used to be British intelligence. Okay. When did that happen? I mean, did that start with the Bruce Timm animated series or no? Because I know that's the earliest time.
No. You're talking about Batman the animated series? No.
Yeah, Batman.
I don't think so.
Was it the first time? I mean, was it the comics that they introduced that or no?
I think so. I mean, like, doesn't like Earth One really like tap into that a little bit too? I mean, I think like his Alfred's more based on that one. I don't know. Like,
because certainly like the old the Michael Keaton films don't give that have that at all. Like the old '60s Batman, not necessarily, but certainly the Nolan films are really cemented in people's minds that yes, he was an MI6 agent. Although the animated series, of course, there was that special episode that established it for viewers there. But this one, I really got a kick out of the fact that it not only made it clear that yes, he was an agent. He even refers to it as the circus. Now,
somebody was talking about that because I think it was Scott that I was talking to about that. Where because that's like that. It's been referred to as that.
Yeah,
circus. I think a lot of us were like, "Is he talking about Dick Grayson?" Because we're so dumb.
No, the circus
ain't working about that. Yeah,
I don't know if if this is in real life, but certainly in John le Carre's novels and the Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, it's MI6's name for itself. It's code name for itself.
So it's a circus. Okay. We got Doug coming in and we got Mr. Andre coming in.
Hey, what's up, you guys?
How you doing?
Yeah.
How's it going?
Yeah.
I finally did it. I was like, you know what? I've been watching you for so long. I might as well join the pirate ship and become a patron as well. Why not?
Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course, man.
It's adding to the pirate ship, so maybe when it helps, it helps everything. Where it kind of get it to a point where maybe we can all start like connecting things. Because I know you guys have YouTube channels and stuff like that. We lost somebody. Who we lose? Oh, we lost Jose. He probably bumped the button because he's lying in bed, that creepo. Anyways, but I appreciate it, guys. But how are you guys doing tonight?
Good, very good.
Okay, we're just kind of going through and seeing getting everybody's response to the Batman. So, Doug, what did you think?
Pretty much everything you've said and what you said in the vodka stream. It's so great. the things that really stuck out to me, I saw it on Tuesday, and I really want to see it again. Lots of Easter eggs, and
whoops.
Yep. All right. I know you probably bumped it when you were grabbing your lotion bottle. I get it. Anyway.
Hey, I need.
All right. Okay.
Only if we're gonna talk about Catwoman.
Sorry, we have a lady present here. Come on, guys. Let's keep it. Let's keep it.
I've heard worse. I've definitely heard worse.
I know.
Mom has heard worse too.
Yeah. And honestly, you notice that every episode of this stream, I've been complaining about how it's all a bunch of guys, and as a result, of course, it's going to be a sausage fest. But now that we have a lady here.
Oh, don't make her feel awkward, okay? She's gonna leave now. Riz, like, all right,
I mean, as far as you know, it's still a sausage fest. So.
Ding! All right, point goes to that one. That's a good response. Like
you realize to the punchline. I meant it a different way, but I was just saying that. Lo and behold, she's here, and we're still being all vulgar and
she's cool like that. What are you talking about? Yeah. It's great. No, but back to Doug. Sorry. Oh, damn.
Oh, he's back. He's gone again.
Oh man, you gotta turn the brightness down. Maybe this device won't go. Anyways, continue, Doug.
All I have to say is it's very different in the fact that there aren't monumental, heroic scenes as much as that. There's just so much good artistry here, and when I think about the movie, I think about the small scenes, the camera work. The character moments, some of the Easter eggs, and the third act. Everybody was like, "Oh, the third act problems," but it was weird that they didn't face a big name villain, and that was weird. As a Batman fan, I thought it was really cool, but you wonder how that's going to play in a mainstream audience. But people want the hero beating the villain in the third act, and it wasn't kind of like that, and that's fine. It was a different vibe, and it was really, really cool. Obviously love Matt Reeves' unique take. The sound and the score were unreal. I think that kind of transcended everything. The mood, Gotham felt like a unbelievable shithole. Like the only thing that even came close was like Joker Gotham. And it really builds up the vibe of a uphill battle. And so, whereas Zack Snyder always said you got to shoot your bullets, I feel like Matt Reeves was like planting seeds as opposed to shooting his bullets. Like there was so many Easter eggs that I noticed, and then you guys fleshed out on the vodka stream. I was like, holy shit, like there's so many more right there, and I think this universe really has laid a foundation with a master filmmaker to do some really great things for sequels and TV shows, and I'm really excited by it. So I was really this seems like something old school WB would have done. It took a lot of chances that it wasn't safe. It was a 3-hour Batman film on the borderline of R. And this is something that Warner Brothers would have done in 2005 that I wouldn't expect them to do in 2021, 2022. And I was impressed. And so credit where credit's due. They let a filmmaker do his thing. And I was just really surprised. It may not be everybody's cup of tea, but it was really unique and a different take, and it's pretty phenomenal.
It really is. I mean, like I said, going back and watching, like, because I know a lot of people are always saying, like, oh, they always talk about grounded, and going back and watching Batman Begins and Dark Knight, I'm like, well, now this is more grounded. I would say, because Matt Reeves, even though it's pretty grounded, there's still there's just something about this aesthetic, and I don't know, it's just so graphic novel, I guess you could say, so noir-y. But Mr. Andre, what do you have to say about the Batman?
I thought it was really good. I watched it on Thursday. I went to a 3 p.m. showing, and I felt like when I left there it was midnight, but it wasn't, because it was so dark. The way they presented Gotham was like this dark, very dirty, rain nonstop. Really, and really, people were talking about how it's going to have a lot of those like Seven vibes. It really felt that way, especially the way the city was presented. It was always just a dark and kind of dreary day. You know what I mean? It was never just like a bright sunny day. But it was cool though. I really enjoyed it. I thought Zoe Kravitz did an incredible job. They all did. I mean, all the actors were really, really good in this movie. It was interesting to see Batman in a phase where he can't do everything. When he gets to that rooftop, he almost gives a face of like, oh shit, because he gets to the rooftop and he's like, what do I? He's like, crap, there's like nothing there. He's just a freaking ledge.
That was an interesting scene. By the way, what the hell is that
noise? I don't know what that noise is.
Is somebody having a party next door?
Someone's got a guitar going in the background.
I know. Riz, she's got her mic off, so it's not her. I don't know. Is that you, Jacob?
Yeah, someone's vacuuming above me. So.
Oh, okay. Vacuuming. Wow.
I thought it was like the phone charge sound.
Okay, I gotta stop touching this thing.
Just put the bottle down.
Not that thing.
I hope you're talking about your phone. Okay.
So. Yeah. Hey, I was able to change my picture.
Hey! You changed it to Peeping Tom.
Peeping Tom Bruce.
Oh my God,
Tom Bruce.
Okay, you know what? I'm glad you guys pointed that out because when I was watching that and he had the binoculars, I was like, dude, okay, so he's kind of like a Peeping Tom, but I get what he's doing, so it's cool. But if I didn't know him, it'd be kind of weird. But no, it was cool because like the story that Matt Reeves put together. I mean, you can tell that it took him 5 years to get this thing going because I mean. There was such an intricate story, so many layers, and there were so many things to kind of break down based on just the story alone. And I think that kind of creates that feeling of like, I want to go back and see it again because I want to see if I missed anything else. And, there's a ton of Easter eggs that he kind of threw in there, like the word hush on the screen, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
There was a few
even the reporter, his last name was Elliot. That's what we were talking about last night. It's like, it wasn't Thomas Elliot, but I can't remember what the first name was, but I just remember I caught it like when that was playing and it said Elliot, I was like, oh shit. And then I just, for some reason, my brain didn't take a snapshot of what his first name was. And then when I looked at IMDb, I couldn't find the name, but I thought that was like, all right, because you see Elliot and then you see Hush just flash up. And I'm like, yeah, but I know it wasn't Thomas. I'm just wondering what the fuck name it was.
I'll bet you Thomas Hush is his son. I bet you Thomas is his son, and then he'll show up for revenge later on.
Yeah. Well, for a minute, I was like, are they going to make the Riddler this guy's son? Is that why he knows so much about the Waynes and all that? But I was hoping that wasn't the case, and it wasn't. So I was like, oh, that's cool. But obviously, I thought Paul Dano did an incredible job with the Riddler. Everyone, I mean, all the acting was just top notch. I mean, it was really good, and like the story was like, dude, at one point when they're dealing with the not Falcone, but the Falcone situation, like when they're dealing with that, I was watching, I was like, okay, cool, and then I'm like, wait, so he still has to fight the Riddler in this movie. Like it's not even over yet. Like what's gonna happen next? And then it just kept going. I was like, wow.
That was very much like when I first saw The Dark Knight. Like after like that long, intense action sequence where they took down the Joker, they brought him to prison, it seemed like the movie was wrapping up and it would be like a nice little, like a happy ending for this movie where Harvey Dent and Gordon and Commissioner Gordon and Batman, they talk about, hey, looks like we're winning. We're going to go, and then they go our separate ways. And in the next movie, everything blows up. But nope, there's more. Yeah. And just like that, it seems like everything's is about to wrap up. They have Falcone. And then shortly after, there's Riddler. They find Riddler. Maybe Riddler gave up. Maybe Riddler did what he felt he had to do, so he's done. Maybe it's end. But then right there, I did like check the time. And it's like, nope, there's an hour left. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, no, it was a long movie, but I mean, even when he goes in to talk to Riddler, are we doing spoilers? Or no?
Oh yeah, we're totally doing spoilers.
Yeah, we all saw it.
When he goes in to talk to the Riddler, he's saying the name Bruce Wayne. I'm like, I'm like, if any cop is watching, they're like, why is he saying that for?
Well, that's what's so beautiful about that scene was the fact that when he's just standing there, he's still in the shadows, which is cool. Like the shadow, like you can't really see his face, you see his silhouette. And then as soon as he goes, Bruce Wayne, and then immediately Batman just looks up at the camera, going, "Fuck." And he's like, they're recording this.
By the way, I trust I wasn't the only one that was instantly reminded of the very end of BVS where Batman is confronting Luthor, and Luthor does the whole civilization on the wane, manners.
Yes, that was awesome.
Yeah.
I could see that correlation right there. But that whole scene was just like, I mean, again, Paul Dano. I mean, that guy's voice, how it changes. It gets when he does that deep voice, and then he gets like regular, and then it's man.
Well, to be honest, the reason why my score isn't as high as probably maybe you guys and maybe
you didn't really.
I didn't really like the fact that the ending was Riddler was just locked up and Batman was taking on his Patreon subscribers at the arena.
If Dave's a Riddler, then we were all there with guns.
I know exactly. You guys were
exactly.
Thank you guys.
Really?
Eric was the last one left. Eric was the last guy standing.
Yeah, and the trailers mislead you. The trailers misled you with that because they have, I don't know if it was a trailer or if it was a TV spot when they show. I thought it was the Riddler that had that gun and that was on top of the the scaffolding, but it was just some random dude.
Yeah,
Riddler was locked up in
Arkham. It was interesting because when they get to his computer and they see all the chat and they're like, do this, do that. You're just like, I chuckled. I was like, oh
the one
God.
it said, we got you, bro.
I was like, oh.
No, they did a good job. They did a good job with that.
Yeah, and isn't that it's sort of a parallel to the end of V for Vendetta, right? Because after Hugo Weaving's dead, but all of his followers, they all dress up like him and put on the helmet, and they finish his mission. So there you go. It's a parallel.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Like when you think about a comic book movie, you want the big bad versus the big good to fight each other in the third act. But with this one, it's the big good fighting the followers of the big bad. And that's even more scary. And so you get that character moment of what message am I putting out? Am I vengeance or am I heroic? And that's where you get the switch and the character move. And that's where you get the whole switch with Pattinson's Batman. He's not vengeance anymore. He's a message of hope.
By the way, that point of him being, I need to focus on vengeance and be more of the hope. That apparently, because if especially if you, Dave, if you've seen Ben Shapiro's review of it, that's what pissed him off.
Oh God!
He did not like that the message of the movie seemed to be Batman should be less of a vengeance of the angry fight. It's less about fighting the villains in and of themselves and be more about the image of hope. He says, what says you want Batman should be Superman now?
That was a good impression of that. That was
my favorite. That was my favorite part of the ending.
I thought it was a good evolution of the character, to be honest.
Yeah, he realizes that he's not. He's not supposed to be the symbol of fear. He's supposed to be a symbol of hope for the city.
And by the way, and I'm like, well, Ben, by your own admission in the video, you say that you love the Dark Knight trilogy and that's like the pinnacle of CBMs, but in the Dark Knight trilogy, it's a major part of Christian Bale's Batman that he is this beacon of hope for the city to inspire the people of Gotham to be better.
Yeah. And it definitely shows, especially since I watched Begins and Dark Knight. I'm like, it's whatever.
But it was cool because
I just point out a small criticism that I had that I'm kind of curious to hear y'all's thoughts on. So
I like your sweater, by the way, Anti-Social Club. I like that.
Oh, thank you.
I love your sweater. I love your headphones. I'm still not a fan of your hat, though. Unfortunately,
I know. Me either.
I like it.
I need to have my Oakland A's hat,
but I got SF
that's
here.
the actual team I like. But anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. So, TLDR. Basically, I felt like almost every iteration of Batman that I've seen in live action has not really had a whole lot of nuance or ability to have a nuanced perspective of the I guess like the grayscale of crimes that are committed. Like it just always felt like crime was either it's a crime, so all of them are equal, and then there's like, you know, no crime, which is good, which is like the end goal or the end game, at least like in my perception. So like in this version of Year 2 Batman that I saw, it was a little frustrating for me seeing how he was unable to empathize with Selena Kyle's, you know, own personal motivations to commit crime and, you know, be a cat burglar and blah, blah, blah. And then also his inability to empathize with the Riddler when he was in Arkham, and that whole scene of like Riddler saying that he wanted to be remembered for X, Y, and Z reasons. And Batman was like, no, you're insane. Like, you're going to die and nobody. I'm just like, you totally missed the point of what like these two really important characters are trying to explain to you. Like they have like, you know, nuanced reasons why they are, you know, the way they are. And you're not even like acknowledging them. So I was a little ticked off by that.
I get that. And, you know, and especially watching Batman Begins. I mean, one of the things that Batman Begins really tackles the fact that Bruce decides to, I'm going to run away from the rich boy thing and I'm going to be a criminal now, see what that's like. And there's that whole spiel between him and, well, Raz, I guess, you know, and he talks about like, you know, stealing for the first time so he wouldn't starve, and then pulling like these heists, or like not really heists, but like stealing trucks and stuff like that. I mean, that's something that's emphasized in there. So I'm kind of wondering like I get that criticism, but I'm kind of wondering like maybe, you know, it's just because it's Year 2 and he's still very much, I mean, she kind of just, you know, she calls it out like, oh, you were born rich and privileged, weren't you? Kind of thing. She kind of goes like, you were
white.
Yeah, and white. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, she kind of throws that in his face a little bit, and it's like, yeah, maybe he doesn't know how to sympathize with like these people and what they had to go through. But I think when it comes to Selena, he's going to start realizing that. And then maybe by the end, he kind of did realize that. And that's why, I mean, he was falling for her. And I don't know, maybe like he's going to get to that point.
So Pattinson's Bruce is like, what, like 28 or 29, apparently?
Yeah, because 20 years
his
since
parents got killed in 2001.
And so you would say like he was probably what, like
he was 8 in 2001. So
he was 8. Okay, so yeah, he's about 28 years old. Yeah.
How old was Bale supposed to be in Batman Begins?
I would say more like maybe same age or early 30s. But
I'm thinking maybe an age thing has to do with it or something. I mean, he's 2 years in. He's just not really
and we don't
empathetic yet, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, and then we don't know like the full backstory when it comes to this Bruce Wayne. I mean, that's when it comes to Begins, you get an entire backstory. You get why he's like who he is. With this one, you don't really know. Like, is there a league? Did he train with League of Shadows? Did he do what was his journey to get to this point? I mean, that's one of the questions that I had too, because you know, I mean, I'm like sitting there going like, I mean, has he always just kind of been like the kid who just, you know, I mean, he's 2 years in. So what was he doing all that other time? That's what I'm kind of wondering.
No, I mean, the only thing we get is that Alfred trained him to fight. So for all we know, Alfred was his only mentor.
So Alfred was a ninja.
No, he was.
Alfred was in the League of Assassins.
He was an MI6.
Yeah, he was in the League of Assassins. No, I mean, I actually like the fact that. Yeah, no, I mean, I like the fact that when the movie started that he was just already Batman. And I think that when you look at characters recently, you know, like Tom Holland's Spider-Man, for instance, he was already Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Obviously, Ben Affleck, already Batman. And when you kind of jump into the character, when they're already like somewhat established, it's kind of easier just to kind of go with it as opposed to not wasting time, but like using time to talk about the backstory. I mean, look, they did not even show his parents getting murdered, which I was actually glad they didn't. I've seen that so many times that it was cool that they didn't like take the time to be like, okay, here comes the alley scene again. Like, okay, here.
I thought maybe there was going to be like some kind of quick thing, or we're going to see some
just like Michael Keaton's movie. Yeah.
Yeah. But I was glad they just showed the Waynes like when he was trying to be mayor, or like when he was running. I like that.
Let me ask you guys something, because a trend started with Joker with making the Waynes not so the perfect people in Gotham. And then now in this one, you have apparently Thomas Wayne sending Falcone, to kill. Maybe not kill somebody, but he's telling Falcone to go do something to this reporter.
Yeah, that's
because he's trying to keep Martha's
Why'd you say that?
secret.
That's kind of
I like it. I like
that was a dark secret too about his mother. Like, it showed her like on the lawn of that place, all crazy. I was like, whoa, dude, Martha was like, that's nuts. Like, man, you really.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know about like when they kind of introduced that, and especially made her an Arkham. Like, I was like, oh shit, that's right. I mean, and I looked into it. I was like, oh yeah, it was like, I think it was Kane at one point, because they were trying to like Bob Kane. They gave her the Kane maiden name at one point, and then they gave her the Arkham name. I forgot which book it was, to kind of just like, I don't know. So it's
Earth One.
By the way, doesn't that link?
Earth One, right? Earth One.
By the way, doesn't that link to what happens to her in Flashpoint when she becomes the Flashpoint Joker? The fact that she was in Arkham and she
and then she loses her her shit and becomes that Joker.
It connects with that.
The imperfect Waynes has been kind of a new phenomenon. It's kind of interesting, but I like it. It was
I'd like to see more of it.
It was Earth One played it up a lot, and the Batman Telltale games really played that one up.
Oh, did that?
They really explored that, and Earth One was kind of a weird bag of tricks, where Volume 1 I really liked, and 2 was good, and then 3 just kind of petered out for me. But Reeves definitely drew from it big time, especially Alfred and the Wayne's history. But I think it plants the seeds for a lot of really good stuff, whether it's Thomas Elliott and Hush, or the Court of Owls will play right into that.
Oh yeah, big
Thomas
time.
Wayne Jr.
Oh yeah,
and like these deep secret, like this universe plays very well for villains we haven't seen before. Even somebody like Hugo Strange would play right into it.
Oh yeah.
And then plus the drops, like who's behind that? Is it Scarecrow or Mad Hatter or somebody like that? So I think that the Wayne's history is going to play big time into future villains. And if they don't do the Court of Owls, it seems like a big missed opportunity. But
I forget. Speaking of the Court of Owls, and I forget, like in the Court of Owls storyline, like does Bruce ever learn about it? Does it ever reveal that the Waynes were part of the Court of Owls or no?
I don't think, does it not? I don't remember.
I don't think they were. I don't believe that they were.
Yeah,
I don't think it was surfaced in this movie. And
it wasn't.
like in regards to like
this movie, no,
Well, we're talking about the Court of Owls,
I don't believe they were a part of it. And if I remember correctly, I could be wrong. I think they were not a part of it, and that's what made them a threat to the Court of Owls, is because they were kind of their own, entity in terms of the Waynes. But I could be wrong.
Because we know that the Court of Owls was looking at Dick Grayson.
We know that Dick plays a part in that. That's why I'm hoping that, I wouldn't be surprised if they start implementing the whole. So Music Man said, in the Court of Owls it was never mentioned. So there you go.
It was never verbally mentioned, but I had a discussion stream the other night, and someone pointed out that there was like a symbol of an owl printed on one of the letters in the movie.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Who?
Yeah.
Ooh. To go back to Andre's point about the whole, not showing the origin of this Batman. I mean, it's cool and all, but like Dave, we have questions. We want to know how he became Batman. How was he? What happened? So are they gonna do that in the sequel? Are they gonna be flashbacks in the sequel now?
Like,
where do we go from here?
The prequel novel was released, and
I know I still got to get it. And
they did that to kind of say like, okay, here's some of his background on what you missed out on. But I think that if you would have had a background, like an origin story for this iteration of Batman, I think that you wouldn't have gotten to the whole, where he becomes the hero at the end, the hero of Gotham. Someone that they can look up to and see as a hero. So to me, I was like, I would rather sacrifice that and get what we got at the end of this movie, because it felt like I watched like an entire season of a show. because of all the shit that happened. I was like, wow, that was just. And it's funny because Dave, I saw your reaction from the car, and you were like, I'm just trying to process all the shit that happened. And I was just like, what happened? And when I saw it, I was like, okay, now I get it. There was a lot of shit that happened. It was like, whoa, just like, God.
I mean, you have like the first 2 acts is just like straight up detective stuff, and it's just breaking down. And they push that R rating, and and I love the whole dynamic between Batman and Gordon. It was so great. And then Selina and Batman also. It all just worked very well. And then you get this 3rd act where it's like, oh, by the way, there's the whole city's gonna get flooded. There's gonna be explosions going off.
That was crazy.
All this, and and I know like there's a lot of people out there that kind of were like, oh man, it's like it's a tonal shift and blah blah blah. It's like I could see what they're saying, but at the same time, I'm like, yeah, but it's like he needed a deuce. There needs to be something that was going to happen, and
there needs to be a big climax in some way.
There had to be something. Yeah, I mean, if it ended at the Falcone scene, that would have been a little bit like, all right, well. That was cool. Yeah, it would have felt very underwhelming if that's where it ended without that big climactic and the flooding and all that. So yeah,
but it's kind of funny that. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a quick plot hole that may or may not even be a plot hole. I might have just missed something. Yeah. So the candidate for mayor, Bella Real, is like totally against vigilantism. At least I think she kind of makes that declaration on like during her campaign. Yet very clearly Batman is a vigilante working directly with law enforcement, coming in and out of the police station like in broad daylight. So I'm like wondering where is that anti-vigilantism?
I think with the climax, she's now a convert to yes, we do need
what she could do anyways.
Yeah, she wasn't mayor yet. She was in an election.
Before she trusts Batman,
the other guy was the mayor.
Yeah, she was going to win that night.
Yeah. I think it's the fact that she was against it, but she wasn't the mayor quite yet. And then I think what they kind of showed at the end when he was like, he kind of like pushed, he was trying to get the people out. And first the little boy comes out, and then she finally goes, okay, and kind of reaches her hand out. I think that was her way of going, all right, maybe I should accept this kind of thing. Yeah. So, I mean, I get what you're saying. She's definitely not. And then the way that she busts Bruce's balls about like, hey, what are you doing? Your family was like all about helping this city, and you're just like locked up in your goddamn tower. What are you doing?
Dude, I swear
little did she know, as we learned down the road in the movie, that money was, going into the pockets of, the underbelly of the city. So she wasn't like put on to like, all the corruptness just yet. She was super idealistic in what her platform.
Yes, very much so.
When she said that, all she was missing was having colored hair. Complaining about that Batman isn't doing much for Gotham.
All right,
like the people on Twitter.
Yeah.
Well, no, it was also too. I mean, like that whole scene.
So they do mention where he trained. Yeah, okay, I gotta get that book. Yeah, I gotta get.
Or the animated series where it's like where there was no one specific mentor, but he went to different places learning.
Yeah. True that. What were we gonna say, Andre? I think you were.
When she was talking to him at the funeral, and she was like, telling him how he's not doing anything, and he needs to help out the city more, and then and for Bruce, he's still
there. It is
like he's still in Batman mode, where he's like, trying to, he's being a detective while he's there. He's not really paying attention to her. He's there because he's trying to figure this out. And I kind of felt like that's sort of like how I feel sometimes when like I'm out with my wife and she's talking to me about something. I'm like looking at my phone, like trying to figure something out. I'm like, wait, what? He's like, I'm not listening. I'm sorry. But no, it was cool that like, being Batman was almost like it was almost like a sick addiction that he had.
Oh yeah.
And that like that became like what he was so infatuated with, solving this and being Batman, that like Bruce Wayne was so secondary to him, and people were complaining about saying, oh well, he didn't capture the whole billionaire playboy.
Yeah, the duality.
Yeah, and if you watch the movie, it's clear as day that it's like, hey, that's not where he's at with the character.
Even watching the trailers. I mean,
Yeah.
I was like, I kept saying that for the longest time. And then when I had Dr. Travis Langley, who wrote the Batman and Psychology, like when I brought that up, he was like, 100% agree. Like this Bruce does not know how to be Bruce Wayne yet.
He doesn't know how to.
He's definitely a virgin.
It's like right in your face too. It's like when people had the gripe about Batman just going off the reservation in BVS. It's right there, like when Alfred drops that newspaper and says new rules. It's like right there. They covered it right there.
They
like,
did.
Right.
And it sucks because stupidly, it's like people, I feel bad saying this, but like stupidly, it's like they almost should have just said, Alfred should have just said, new rules. Now you're killing people. You never did this before. What's wrong with you? Like, it's almost like the people needed to hear that to go, oh, cool. Okay. He acknowledged it instead of watching it and going, yeah, he's essentially acknowledging it right now. And it went right over people's heads.
And just every Alfred and Bruce scene just acknowledges the fact that it's like, dude, like this guy, like Bruce Wayne does not know how to have that public persona. He has not developed that side of him at all yet. I mean,
and again, Alfred is the one who's upset with him about that. He's telling him you form this persona, otherwise people will be suspicious of you.
Yeah.
And then he realizes at the end that like he has to be, being Bruce Wayne is important. And plus like that money was going into all these, people's pockets. So it's like, yeah, you know what? I need to be Bruce Wayne. And also I need to be more than just a vigilante or more than just vengeance. I need to be a hero, So he's understanding that there's more that he has to do than just going out there and just beating the crap out of people. And I thought that was really cool. I was like, yeah, that's awesome.
So and on that note, like my favorite moment in the entire movie is at the beginning, like after his opening narration, where all the criminals, they see the bat signal, and now they're looking away around in fear, looking at the shadows, and then those goons with the war paint, they're beating up that guy, they're mugging that guy, and then they hear the steps, turn, they look in the shadows, and slowly we see the outline of Batman, the silhouette, and then slowly he steps out of the shadows, and you hear the music, and it's like, oh my god, I love this.
That was cool.
Love it.
Yeah, it was great. Like, and then I brought it up last night too. Is like the fact that the signal's always out, and that's just kind of like a reminder of like, oh shit. And I love because that was touched in Dark Knight, where even Gordon says, he goes, yeah, like when what's her name shows up, I think her name's Martinez, where she's just like, he hasn't shown up yet, and he goes, hardly ever does. I just want to remind the people that he's out there. And then you see like people like, oh no, tonight doesn't feel right, man. And then that one guy is like, oh, you win the Powerball instead of running into him. Were you superstitious or something like that? And I love the fact that even though that's tackling the same subject of Batman, and this is going back to my point of like, even though like Batman Begins and Dark Knight, Nolan touched on certain things that maybe Reeves didn't touch, but then the things that they did touch, that were similar, they did it so differently. Because then you have, like you said, you literally have like a guy like, when you have the narration going, talking about being in the shadows, and I can't be everywhere at once, but I got the signal, and all this stuff like that, fear. So like when like that one dude drops the spray paint can, the can, and it falls into like, and he's just like, I ain't gonna get that because the Batman might be there and he's gonna punch him in the fucking face.
And they're waiting for it too. Like they're waiting, they're watching it roll into the shadow. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And then they just run. Like, oh, let's get out of here.
Yeah, but then you get the crew where he does show up, and then they kind of, the main guy's like, look at this guy. Look at this guy. What the hell are you supposed to, he goes, what are you supposed to? And then he gets the shit beat out of him. It's like,
that was kind of.
But I almost felt like that guy represented like any one of us. Like if you were the group of guys and a dude walked out in a kind of suit, you'd be like, who the hell are you supposed to be? I mean, like, what the hell? But I mean, they knew about Batman, so I was kind of like, well, shouldn't you know that's Batman? Maybe I don't know.
I was about to say that.
Was the kid in that scene? Do you think that was a setup for one of the Robins?
No, because he's already playing Tim Drake in Titans. I would hate that. Hate that.
That's the same actor.
Yeah. Same guy who's playing Tim Drake in Titans.
That would be terrible.
Don't do that.
I was sort of thinking. I was sort of thinking since his war paint is.
I wonder why he looked familiar. I was like, why do I know that face?
Yeah.
The fact that the war paint is on half of his face, I was
I
thinking,
thought that was a little Two-Face kind of Easter egg.
Yeah.
No, I think he just hasn't been fully initiated into the gang.
Yeah, that could be it.
They're
too.
like, he's gonna get half a face now. We're not gonna give you a full face.
Yeah. No, but I mean, I've seen people talk about that. I'm like, please don't, because that's going to be a weird kind of thing because he's part of Titans. He's Tim Drake. Don't do that.
You're like, is this canon now?
Yeah. No. I think there's going to be an actual Dick Grayson that'll end up showing up. And I think it's going to be younger because, I mean, that dude's probably, he's got to be 19, 20, 21, maybe in his early 20s. I want a 11 or 12-year-old Dick Grayson. I don't want Chris O'Donnell, who's fucking 30 with an earring and just like, riding a motor. I don't want that because when you watch Batman Forever, as much as I love I love that movie, imagine if
he's not a kid.
If Dick Grayson was a kid in those scenes, like imagine that, like imagine a kid trying to get in that bomb out there. And then, when he looks over and he sees that his whole family like are dead on the ground, imagine that. Going back to Robin's Reckoning when Batman the Animated Series. I mean, my God, there's just something. There's more of an impact as a kid, and they really emphasize with Bruce, obviously with the when Mayor Mitchell got killed. I mean, he looks at the kid on the bed, and then even like when it's rewatching the footage and he walks off, Alfred sees that footage of him looking at the kid, at his son, and then at the funeral scene, same thing. He is eyeing that kid, and then he even like runs and protects that kid. Mm-hmm. So they're really emphasizing Bruce as like, hey, they're gonna. If there's gonna be a Dick Grayson, he's gonna be 11, 12 years old. It's got to be.
Yeah, but it was cool because you finally saw Batman, showing that kind of, he was kind of showing that kind of internal emotional trauma that he has by seeing that kid, who's now, whose father was killed, at the funeral and at the crime scene. He feels for him, and he kind of puts himself in him. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Thank you. He sees himself in him, and I thought it was really cool to see that. The kind of experience that in a Batman who's very stoic, very quiet, very deep in thought, and yet he became kind of vulnerable when he was in the presence of the kid because he just kept locking eyes with him, just like, oh my gosh, like he just felt him. It was really cool. I really like that.
Oh, I just noticed. Yeah, no, I don't mind the mansplaining. I would love to hear Jacob's favorite scene. And, actually, yeah, I'm just waiting for a chance to jump in and just give the baton to him.
Yeah.
I said my favorite scene. What's your favorite scene, Jake?
Yeah.
Shit, I don't even know because I did actually enjoy the third act. People might have said it was jarring. I think that makes sense for the Riddler, for that villain, and I kind of do enjoy that scene where he's trying to just Mayor, I don't remember her name.
Mayor Mitchell?
No,
or Bella Real.
Yeah. After she gets shot, and it's like, and Gordon's just like, oh shit, how do I get up there after he sees Batman? And then it's Selena who also goes up there too. And then I really enjoyed that scene, and I think it's.
Oh, I know when everything starts like blowing up, like, and then all of a sudden he just like jumps down. I'm like, oh man, that was so cool. Yeah, and then you got the music swells up, and then he just like starts grappling hook guys and like fucking like when it just like starts taking
double grappling hooks.
Oh, I know, dude. When have we seen that in a Batman movie? Usually it's just one. But man, he was like, Matt Reeves really kind of made him almost a gunslinger type because with the boots, like especially when he's walking up the Penguin after Penguin rolled so many times, it's like in that car, you were like hear the ching ching. It's like there's like Matt Reeves is like, you know what? Add a little bit of spokes in here, please. I want that effect when he's walking up, and I'm like, yeah, I think there was like a little bit of like that in there, and I was like. I dig it. I dig it.
I'm glad that you brought up Oz too, because I was like thinking how going into the movie, knowing that we were going to get additional content for this character, and also knowing that Colin Farrell like had prosthetics and bodysuit on, the whole nine. seeing his performance and like whenever they would like be very close up to his face while he's emoting, for me, knowing everything going in, it was a little jarring, and I did catch on to like this weird amalgamation of accents, like a combination of like Al Pacino and Robert De Niro, like, you know, these like really like over the top characterizations that
holy shit, Al Pacino,
were a little distracting for me. I'm not gonna lie, they weren't terrible, but if I had to find something to criticize in this movie that I really enjoyed, it would probably be that.
Have you seen Gucci and Jared Leto?
Oh, that's really good.
Oh yeah, that gets extreme.
That is the most extreme version of that. He's basically Mario from the Mario.
Yeah, he really is.
That's why I joked about it. Like when that scene, like I think I quote tweeted somebody that posted that. I'm like, can we get Chris Pratt out of the whole Mario thing and just hire Jared Leto, because he's nailing it right here.
Yeah, it's on par.
I could see Chris Pratt as Crash Bandicoot more than I could see him.
Yeah, I know. I'm still kind of wondering, like, how is that voice going to sound for Mario? Chris Pratt, really? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm still wondering how that's going to all play out. But anyways, this is not a Mario.
I think my biggest gripe with the movie, honestly, would be the only one thing is the Riddler for me. Okay. You know, maybe not anybody else, but I just think what I was watching the movie, I was like, what happened to the Riddler that we saw at the beginning of the movie? Like, this guy, did he use a voice changer?
Because he
goes from having this menacing, like,
if you are
voice,
not, I think that's him.
Yeah, he goes from that voice to being on a live stream, like, hi guys.
Yeah.
So and I'm like, what? And then he's talking when he's talking to Batman in Arkham, and I thought that was a little over the top. I think he was doing a little too much there in the cell in Arkham.
Crybaby stuff. Yeah.
And then he starts crying later on when he's talking to Joker. Sorry, if Cars is watching. I was like, what? Yeah, that kind of took me out of like. How the movie starts with Riddler just popping out of nowhere, behind the mayor, and that was terrifying.
That was terrifying. Scary when he's just standing there. I was like, oh, dude, how'd you not see him? And then you see him again. And then when he walked past him twice on the phone, I'm like, oh my god.
And then he hits him, and he like climbs on top of him, and he does this weird long exhale, and he starts reaching for his pants.
Yeah,
he started reaching for his pants. I was like, "Whoa,
dude!" There was a slight moment where I thought, "Dude, if he's gonna do what I think he's gonna do,
PG-13, right?
This is gonna be way over the top." And then he didn't do it. I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, but and then throughout the whole movie,
so
exactly, I was like, "Well, they're gonna go there right away." Jesus, this is
and then
nuts.
throughout the whole movie, he's terrifying. He's doing his video messages and all that stuff, and then he gets caught, and it's just like, and I was like. Me speaking by myself, I was like, what happened to this dude that was earlier in the movie?
Well, I think like when it comes to, obviously he's a psychopath, and trying to get like Riddler as this kind of more grounded type character and not like a Jim Carrey version or something like that, where it's it's very I'm trying to think of the word, but flamboyant, I guess you could say. It's not going to be that type of Riddler who's going to be wearing a costume full of question marks and stuff like that. I think it's just like it's like a really, a messed up, young dude who's very, very smart. Maybe there's a little bit of something going on, where he,
Well, what was his job? What was his mental illness? I can't think of it. What was his job that he had?
He's like an accountant or something like that. Oh
yeah, so he's smart. Like he's good with numbers and stuff.
He's good with numbers. He's good with all that kind of stuff. And I think it's just, when he first when he kills or when he knocks out at least Mayor Mitchell. He's kind of like that's got to. I'm thinking that's his first kill that he's ever done, where he's just kind of like yeah. I don't know if anybody else felt that. Where he was kind of like,
I was like that. I know what that type of exhale is. I've been there before. I think.
Okay, what are you confessing?
No.
Am I?
Yeah, I'm like, let me take my face off of here.
I've said too much.
Seriously, guys, if you've ever looked at the live chats during Dave's streams, you know what Jose loves talking about with certain other folks.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We're
That's
not talking
what
about me. We're talking about the.
I've been there. He's like, I've been there. I've been there. It's like, yeah, sure, Jose. We know what.
There was like there was a couple of things that that I didn't like, and they were so minor that they weren't really much of anything. Like, for instance, when Batman has his Batmobile, and like the first time you see the Batmobile in action, I was like, when the car turns on, like, I was like, wait a minute, you're telling me nobody saw that car back in that spot like a few hours ago? Like, get the hell out of here.
That's a little, yeah. I agree.
I was
with
like,
that.
whatever,
like,
you know.
Even like the second time, I'm like, wait, did he drive that there? And nobody heard it. I'm like, but I mean, it's such a cool like reveal that it's like, oh man.
Yeah. My thing is,
you're kind of pointing out all the plot holes that, or not even plot holes, just like kind of nitpicks that I had. Like there are so many things that are identifiably like the same between Bruce and Batman. Like how they know that's him.
I mean, the mayor got shot,
right?
And then later on, she's in waist high water. Like, you know, reaching over Batman's hand. I'm like, dude, this girl would be like dying. Like, oh god, you know what I mean?
I know. I'm like, weren't you like,
I thought she was dead, and then she looks okay.
I'm like, she got shot right here in the stomach towards the side. I'm like, dude, that's like,
I didn't even think of that. You're making my
like
rating
a kill shot. I was like, dude,
no, she got a good shot in, and it was kind of like, yeah, she should have gotten probably like helicoptered out of there pretty quickly. There was a pretty,
it was like, you know, climbing out. I'm like, I don't know.
It wasn't like they should have made it where she got like shot in the shoulder, but it was like a side shot.
Yeah,
you know, if it was in the shoulder, it would have been.
Yeah. Huh? When I saw the shot, I was sure she was dead right there. But then, you know, after Gordon brings her back, you know, she goes, "Yeah, I'm okay."
Yeah, they should have just made it where it was like,
let's go.
Yeah, if it was a shoulder shot, it would have made a little bit more sense because like she's standing at the podium, so like half her body's up, and she ends up getting like almost like, you know, a side shot right here and like the oblique right here, and I'm like, all right, but that's like that could be pretty serious.
That's pretty bad, you know? Man. That's like,
they should have just made it a shoulder shot.
I mean, you want to talk about
maybe tried to move, but
I don't know.
Oh.
But I mean, it's so minor that I was like, whatever, you know. Yeah. And then like they're like, everyone get inside the garden, you know, get inside the arena, and then the windows break, and then it turns into a huge pool. I'm like, why were you in the first place? I mean, like, get off the ground level, get up in the upper decks. And I was just like, oh man, what's
go to the 400 level.
I know, right? Go into the nosebleeds.
Speaking of things people should have survived, there was like this. Yeah, y'all mentioned it before, like when Oz's car crashes and just like, you know, rolls, and he's just sort of like sitting there upside down. I'm like, wouldn't you be bleeding from your head right now? Like, I don't know.
All of us would have been dead. Like,
you got to suspend disbelief on that one. No, there's no like airbags or side airbags or nothing that.
No airbags.
No, forget Oz in the car. What about all the other people behind you that just blew up in those cars and trucks?
That collateral damage.
Hey, Jose. In the words of Zack Snyder, those guys are fine.
Those guys are fine. We didn't see them die.
Okay. So
by the way,
and look, at least when Zach killed people driving in cars, they were bad guys. These guys were just they were just trying to get home from work. You know what I mean?
I can't wait. Wait till Twitter like gets on that, you know, because you know what's gonna happen.
I've already seen it.
They were just trying to get home.
I haven't seen it yet. Yeah,
I've seen people say, you know, it's very reckless of Bruce of Batman to do that.
Well, just chasing someone. He doesn't know yet, you know,
down the wrong side of the highway, and like it's like he had tunnel vision, you know. He was so focused on Penguin, he didn't even bother noticing. You just did a Dukes of Hazzard thing off a truck that just blew up. So that's probably
that happened to land with the ramp in front of you.
So
like, tight.
You just reminded me of another scene that I am shocked we haven't talked about yet. The flying squirrel / bat scene from his grand escape from the police station.
Yeah, that was
just like the
I liked it.
The camera angles of just his face getting like those aerial hits of air and then just him eating it as he tumbles onto the ground after hitting a car.
Yeah. No, I mean I dug that entire scene, but yeah, we talked about it even last night. Where it's like, well,
it was a little silly.
Where'd the cape go, and how did it kind of? I was hoping when I was watching this movie that, and maybe in the next one we'll get more of this. Like, developing of the costume. I was hoping to get a little bit more of like, hey, get or even something, but we don't get anything of like the costume. Like what's this material? I mean, obviously it's all bulletproof, nothing, I mean, but at the same time, it's like, but it is a 2-year Batman, so why even do that? It's not like Batman Begins where he gets it. I mean, even like when it comes to Batfleck, I mean, even like his entire costume is like bulletproof, even the cowl. And it's like, oh, okay, the cowl.
But he's also a 20-year Batman, so you expect it.
But
20 years in, yeah.
But I mean, he took a shot like close range.
Yeah, that's what I want. Like, was he testing the suit? Because he got shot a lot of times.
Yeah,
face is frozen.
He did.
I think my face. Or is everybody? It looks like your face is frozen too, Dave. It was just me.
I'm just sitting perfectly still.
Yeah,
I'm good.
I'm very still.
No, we're good.
We're good.
We're good.
Okay.
It could be your feed.
Or something, yeah, it might be. Yeah. Anyway, but back to Batman Begins. Like what you're bringing up with this squirrel like balloon
squirrel
cape that he's got. I think like Batman Begins, like right away he gets from Lucius from Fox the cape that can like inflate into whatever that can
memory cloth, the
memory cloth into whatever he wants, and it becomes like his glider. But this one it's like. The cape inflates and becomes a balloon.
Was there a point? Was there a point to the squirrel suit? Like, can someone?
I think that was it. That was the point.
I think Reeves didn't want to do the whole cape thing, so he's like, well, the suit will have like the squirrel suit, which I liked. I liked that whole thing, but then I was kind of, but after he crash lands, which looked painful as shit.
He had armor on.
I was like, what happened? I mean, we even talked about last night. Like, what happened to the cape? Like the cape.
Dave, you gotta get somebody out.
Look at these guys. Make sure you smash that like button.
Oh my God, we got China, or I don't know what.
China.
China. They're here.
Hold on. It appears to be Japanese.
Oh, Japanese.
Oh boy.
And we're.
Oh no, Hong Kong. Never mind. I apologize.
Hong Kong. There it is.
Hong Kong. Okay.
Yeah, guys, make sure you like and subscribe.
All right, Mama Film Junkie came to the rescue.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mom. I didn't know she was still here. I was like trying to figure. I was like, wait, which one do I pick? So thank you, Mom.
I don't know. It just felt weird to me because like I play. We've all played, I'm sure, the Arkham games, and it's when you jump off the top of the building, you don't fucking put a squirrel suit on. You just dive and
that's what I was saying earlier. He got to the rooftop and he gave a no shit face, like, oh my God. And I was like, well, this is kind of interesting. I was like, because I remember when he did that, I was like, wait, he can't soar.
That was probably his.
I was like, if this was the Arkham game, I would have died.
Yeah, but see, I mean, but again, it's something different when it comes to like that.
It's something different.
Yeah,
and at least he thought ahead. You know what I mean? He like it shows that he did think ahead. Like if I'm ever in a situation where I have to jump off something really really high with nowhere to land, I can soar. In my flying
and then he zooms by all quick, like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, nah, dude, there's no way you
went
went
going like Mach 6.
Yeah, there's no way.
Well, no, I mean, you know what though?
With the GoPro,
you seen those guys with the squirrel suits? They're going
ass.
Crazy fast. But when he crash lands, though, it's like, all right, yeah, you got to suspend disbelief with that.
I mean, he
fucking killed him.
He did get up like all like, but
yeah.
The other thing too was that.
Yeah, oh God, don't say that. Oh.
when the Penguin's car flipped over all those times, and Batman was like walking towards him, I thought it was such a badass scene. But the one thing that kind of bothered me was when it showed him like bent over, like,
I'll give you that. I'll give you that too, because it's like just have it where he's walking and then cut and show Penguin's face and then cut. But then when he kind of like bends down and goes, hey, it's like, and then they cut it. I was like, you could have probably cut it before that.
They showed it twice.
The second time I watched that, I was like, yeah, that was a little too long. They could have cut it like as because when I was watching was like, oh my God, it's such a cool shot. I'm like, yes, because it's upside down. There's fire behind him. It's so fucking badass. But then they kind of
Let me ask you guys something. Do you guys think that there was too much comedy in the movie?
No.
I
thought there was a really good amount.
No.
Yeah.
Dude, Penguin was fucking hilarious.
Oh, Penguin was the best. Yeah, he was.
Oh yeah,
the whole
world's greatest detectives.
I love that line so much. It's a nod to one of Batman's classic nicknames. But and he says it as like an insult to him and Gordon.
Yeah, and then he was like, "What is this? Good cop and bad shit cop?" Yeah, that was so great. That was
you don't
so
know
great.
Spanish.
But I will say this, like, because we were talking about everyone else's nits. Like the one thing was when Cobblepot, when he says, look, yeah, a rat with wings, that's a bat. And I was like, that's exactly what I was thinking. And the thing is, anyone who remembers, at the very least, remembers like Joker's speech in The Killing Joke. Why else would you dress up like a flying rat? So it's like, so the moment they said someone like the riddle was a rat with wings, I instantly thought that, and I had no idea. It never occurred to any of them that he's talking about a bat. They all think stool pigeon.
Yeah, no, it was that whole scene right there. I mean, you got to suspend disbelief because the car roll and stuff like that. But that whole scene between the three of them was just absolutely. That was fantastic, and Penguin was just hilarious, and just the way that he was like, just busting their balls about like, oh wow, you're Spanish, like giving them shit about their Spanish. It was so great.
No, the best part was when he's like, the way he delivered it. He was like, thumb drive.
Oh yeah,
and it was
so dry.
Yeah, it was hilarious. And then I guess he has to do the fingerprint thing. And Gordon's like, "Oh, this guy's hilarious."
Yeah,
but see, I mean, it's that dry humor, but it's also it's
dark humor.
It's dark humor, but like that's also Batman's humor, where he's not trying to be funny; he's just being like almost just realistic, straightforward, and it comes off as sarcastic and almost as funny. And that's what we saw even in Zack Snyder's Justice League. When Barry goes, "You have a satellite? I have 6." You know what I mean? Like he's not making a joke. He's just saying like, "I have 6." And it was funny.
Oh yeah, a good example of that joke was when Commissioner Gordon meets up with him on this what is it, the building, top of the building. It was like, I wish you would have pulled that punch, and Batman's like, I did. Yeah.
You know what, Andre? Now that you bring that up, Andre, that was one of my criticisms of Justice League. I was like, did we really need a joke about Bruce's satellites after Cyborg's dad just disintegrated in front of all of us?
Well, I mean, when you say it like that, it's kind of like, hey.
Yeah, because it's literally.
I'm saying, Downer over here. Jeez,
God.
No, I though. It's like, but it's so dry though that it's not. It's almost like it's not intended to be a joke, but Barry's reaction is just like, oh, and it's.
Well, I mean, even in BVS, when Superman comes down, and he's like, "Did you find a spear?" And Batman's like, "I've been a little busy."
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, I know. See, that's the thing is like, you have to really capture that dry bat humor, I guess you could say, and I thought they did a good job. Like I said, like we were saying about the pull and the punch. I mean, that was pretty hilarious. And then, but even like the dynamic of, between Gordon and Batman when they go into like the old home, the old orphan home, and like, Batman's like, no guns. And he goes, that's your thing, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, says that. And I'm like, it's so subtle, but it's so perfect to the characters.
That's your thing,
you got a dude who like has lethal weapons as hands and an armored suit where he could take a fucking bullet. And then you got a cop who's just in, a trench coat, a fucking suit. It's like, that. So it's just kind of funny. Even just like Batman going, no guns. And he's like, that's your thing, man.
Did you guys get surprised by the F-bomb?
Oh no, that was early on.
You noticed
there was an F-bomb in the opening crime scene by the commissioner.
Yeah, he says "Happy fucking Halloween." I was like,
yeah, he does. Yeah.
You know what? I liked it because it just kind of fit because this movie's heavily based on Long Halloween, so why not?
I mean, if you get one F-bomb in a PG-13 movie, might as well put one in, though.
Right? You have to put it in, and he put it in right off the bat, and I love that.
But there were so many like
you can actually get 2 though. That's the thing. You're supposed to get 2. Look at Zack Snyder's Justice League. That got 2 F-bombs. But that's considered rated R, right? Yeah, never mind. What am I talking about?
It's supposed to be like the context that it's used, right? Because it has to be like out of anger, not so much like literal, like effing happening.
Oh no, if it's sexual in any way, it's the first one.
Yeah, it's like all the way back, like in even like the old like the Hays Code. Like remember in Gone with the Wind, frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. Well, like cursing period was just not allowed, but in the context, it worked. So
remember when a PG movie like Beetlejuice could say, "There's your fucking model."
There you go.
Oh no, what do you say? Nice fucking model.
Yeah,
in a
exactly.
PG movie. In a PG.
I love, dude. That was like, as a kid. Oh, me and my brother would like, we loved.
Yeah, I was always
that.
like, "Ooh, you
Yeah,
just said the
but-
F word." Nice.
Ooh. But then, but it was like, nice fucking model, honk honk, and it was just like,
Fucking hilarious, man. And they're making a Beetlejuice too. Can you
I
believe
know.
That movie was
by the way,
PG.
Beetlejuice 2, the moment they announced that there's going to be a Beetlejuice 2, I instantly went to what Kevin Smith said about it way back when he was telling the story about his take on his script for Superman was it like Superman Lives, and like they were pitching to him like different things they could do, and one of the projects was Beetlejuice Goes to Hawaii or something, and he's like, did we not say everything that needed to be said with the first Beetlejuice? And now we're getting.
Yeah. I know it's gonna. I'm worried about it too. But who knows when it comes to all this stuff? Because Tim Burton, I think a while back, even said that it was shelved. Like they shelved.
Oh yeah,
it.
this
It was
movie's
like,
been. I remember there was like.
It's
fan
been,
art for a poster that it was supposed to come out.
So many,
was it Hawaiian? Was it Hawaiian?
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny about that is like, I used to watch the cartoon. I thought the cartoon was great.
Yeah, they explored the supernatural elements of the afterlife. So I would think that they did that in the second movie. At least I would hope.
Yeah, because the cartoon made it where Beetlejuice wasn't a villain. The movie makes him a villain. He's the villain of the movie, even though he's like likable and he's kooky and stuff like that.
He's an anti-hero.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's how they always frame everything, right?
Yeah.
No, but but the cartoon made him like, okay, now he's the good guy because it was like him and Lydia going into this whole thing, and like it wasn't anything about him kind of just haunting this whole house and trying to get the people out and everything like that. So I'm curious to I guess it's going to be that, I don't know, or is it going to be like Lydia is, obviously she's going to have kids because she's older, and I don't know. It's just anytime there's a sequel that is decades after the first one, I worry about Dumb and Dumber.
There's probably going to be some villain that they need Beetlejuice to help them fight or something like that.
Like that.
Beetlejuice versus
I almost hope there isn't though. I want it to be more like comedy based. And I don't know. And the problem with these ones though is that usually when they do these sequels so many years later is they try and retread the same kind of like jokes and themes. And like I wouldn't be surprised to see the whole the song and dance, at the end, like, oh no.
You're talking about
Just don't give us a Dumb and Dumber 2.
Well, dude, I'm telling you guys, man, Michael Keaton is on fire right now. I mean, look, he's Batman, he's in Spider-Man, he's in Morbius, he's going to be in Beetlejuice 2. I mean, he can't lose. He's on fire.
He just won an award for
Dope Sick.
Yeah.
He's
on fire, man.
And we had
Birdman.
What was it? The Keanu songs like a couple years ago. Now it's the Keaton songs. It's coming back.
There you go. I know, right? Yeah, there was the Keanu songs, and now we got the Keaton songs. Yeah,
he was like Ray Kroc in that McDonald's film. So
you know what?
Movie.
Oh yeah,
okay.
Great.
I
Founder.
Whoever. Okay, the fuckers that were handling that movie and distributing that movie should have been released during award season and should have been nominated for shit because I remember there was like a whole struggle. I think it was McDonald's that actually effed that up a lot because they didn't want people to know the certain story. And I think McDonald's really fucked that movie over because it was supposed to get released during award season, but it got released in January for the following year. So it was like, literally just it got placed on a fucking date to just die. And when I watched it, I was like, this is an Academy, this is an award-winning movie.
It was
good.
It
was the irony is though, like if McDonald's was like panicking over this movie, and it's like all I know is that I believe it was like Jeremy Johnson, like his review is that after watching this movie, I instantly wanted to go to McDonald's to get a burger.
Oh yeah, it made me so hungry. I was like, dude, I can't.
They could have used it for marketing.
They could
but
have.
I think because they talk about the little shortcuts they start taking. Because at first it was like McDonald's, we're doing quality food here, but we have a system to make it fast. And then all of a sudden, like, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but they talk about like, oh, and then you change up the milkshakes, you change up this, that, and this to get shortcuts. And I think they didn't want those to be exposed, but it's like, come on, we all heard about it.
We all know they do that kind of crap.
We all know it's toxic waste, but
and we all have noticed that the patties have gotten thinner and thinner and thinner.
Yeah.
Have anyone
that
here
American
worked
cheese
in
is
fast
all...
food or like food service at all?
Yeah,
never.
Yeah. So these aren't secrets. Like, you know, this is public knowledge.
You can go on TikTok. There's people on TikTok that are showing
it's not
all
real
of this
meat.
shit now.
This is not like hidden knowledge, but I thought that the actors who played the McDonald brothers, Nick Offerman and John Carroll Lynch, they did such a good job. I felt so sorry for them. I was like, God, this is terrible. And at the end, you know, the spoiler alert, but at the end, you know, when they're like, he's like, you know, we just need to get paid. He's like, look, I'm going to pay you guys. All right, here, let's shake on it. I promise you, we'll pay you. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, no.
I know. No, it's if
you guys remember?
watch that movie.
You guys remember? Thank You for Smoking with Aaron,
I haven't watched that yet. It's on my list. That's Aaron Eckhart, right?
The dude Aaron Eckhart. Yeah, I was like, what's his name?
Katie Holmes too.
Two-Face.
Fucking Harvey Dent. Yeah,
Harvey Dent.
That was
Harvey Dent and Rachel Dawes.
Oh yeah, Katie Holmes is in that too, huh? Yeah, I always hear about that, and I know Scott. He always talks about it, that he raves about that movie. So, and he's like, you gotta watch it. And I always forget. I'm like, shit, I gotta put that movie on.
Let's get back to the Batman. Let me ask you.
Yeah, I know, right?
I know. But like, before we do, just one last thing, because you're mentioning like we're all hoping that this sequel to Beetlejuice is not going to be like Dumb and Number 2, where they're just rehashing all the old jokes. Yeah. You know what? Just go the extra mile. Let's do the whole. Let's do it and let's put it in Hawaii and have Kevin Smith write it. Just for this.
Oh man,
no, we're not gonna put it in Hawaii.
But yeah, let me ask you guys this, because I saw somebody criticizing. What do you guys think about Batman just knocking on the door of the club and just walking in or whatever? Because I saw somebody like, Batman knocks on doors now. He doesn't crash through the windows anymore.
Well, I think they were trying to do like I think Matt Reeves, because obviously he knocks on the door and he goes, you know who I am, and then he punches the shit.
He does it twice.
And then he does. And then he goes as Bruce Wayne and goes, do you know who I am? I like that. I loved the fact that he did that. You know, like he showed up at the club as Batman, punched a bunch of people to get to where he needed to go. And then when he came as Bruce Wayne, he was like broken because of what he found out about his parents. And he got welcomed in without having to punch anybody. That
was another thing that made me laugh, because you see the twins when they open the door the second time, they're all beat up.
Exactly. No, I had no qualms with that at all. Yeah, I had no qualms with that at all. I think it
kind of reminded me of The Dark Knight when he goes into the club.
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny is that was the same. Oh, the outside at least, that was the same set that they used for in Batman Returns or Batman Begins, Falcone's restaurant. That was the same front. I was like, wow. They used the same one. That's crazy. Why would they do that? I was like, oh, whatever.
Yeah. By the way, we've all
that's Chicago. That's Chicago right there.
Your biggest issues with the film. Like my one issue, the one thing that was kind of like odd to me is like the Iceberg Lounge. Whenever we think of the Iceberg Lounge, we think of this high class, high society thing that Penguin is running, and we go in and it's a dance hall.
Yeah,
I think of a place where there's icebergs floating and you have to jump on them and use your grappling gun to pull you to the other side.
Yeah,
it's like a pain in the ass in the game.
Yeah, and then you got
damn it.
Yeah, he's got and he has Solomon Grundy locked up under the under
and
the
these cops who are like, Batman, help me! You're like, oh, hold on, I'm trying to get there, damn it, no.
But I did like the fact that there's like a club within the club, the 44 Below.
Yeah,
I mean it really
the 44 Below.
Yeah, it really hits on like the fact that it's like everybody who's elite in this is just fucking corrupt.
Just totally corrupt.
I saw
corrupt.
I saw somebody saying, I don't know if you guys agree. I saw somebody saying that the context that he uses made this world less realistic because they don't think that would something like that would actually exist.
I think
in,
it's
like,
part
the
of
real
that.
world.
I think
No,
they were
I
being
thought that was
like a
cool.
little generous by making Commissioner Gordon completely uncorrupt. Well, like he is, participating in vigilante justice and allowing, this person to touch evidence and, do their own little investigation, like outside of the law enforcement, But other than that, they're virtually uncorrupt. So I thought that was actually like a little unrealistic. I thought that there should be some skeletons in his closet too, maybe.
Well,
he's
he does
always
in year
been.
one if they explore, him cheating on his wife and things like
Yeah.
that. That's why year one was so gritty. He wasn't perfect.
Yeah. So I mean, they might explore that, but I mean, at the same time, though, I know you're. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to that tech, though, it's like I thought that was pretty cool, to be honest, because
I thought it was necessary. It was very necessary.
It was necessary because it's like, all right, so he wants to record everything that, obviously he's keeping a journal, which is,
well, if he can identify every single person that you look at, he has to have access to a database that has everyone's like facial records and stuff.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you just kind of go, okay, maybe
it's Batman. You know what I mean? It's Batman.
Speaking of the contact lenses were actually a really cool tool that I've never seen them in
that was awesome
before. It was really,
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool when she was like, "No, I'm done with this." No.
Dude, they really emphasize. God, again, Greg Fraser, Matt Reeves, getting into like really up close, like showing that where like if you have any kind of, you get squirmy when it comes to eyeball stuff, man, you just kind of go, you see him like pull it out, and then you see like her put it in really up close, and it's just like, ugh, you're squirmy.
Here's the reason I
We're gonna clip that, Dave.
There was another thing I thought. There was another part that I really, really liked, and it was such a subtle scene. Was that after Batman shows up behind Catwoman and he tells her, you're really good at that, and they have a little exchange, and then he takes the passport from her, and she's like, "Give me that." And he's like, "No," and all of a sudden, like they hear someone coming, and then he grabs her, and they hide. And the cops looking around and everything, and it's such a small scene, but I was like, I liked it because I thought, you know what, that's something that they would have to deal with. Like they could probably kick his ass and do whatever, but they're like, shit, like hide. You know what I mean? Like here he is armored up as Batman, and she's Catwoman, but they have to hide from a cop with a flashlight because
I like
the reality of things. I was like,
he doesn't. I'm sure he doesn't want to beat up a cop.
No, he's not gonna beat up a cop.
Anything. That's another thing too.
You know
about,
what I'm saying though, like he wasn't above the law in the sense of like I don't care who you are, and the fact that he had to hide, that's something that like any one of us would have had to have done if we were there. Like, oh shit, I just thought that was cool.
That was another thing too with Catwoman, because this is obvious. Well, she's not even Catwoman; she's just Selena Kyle, because
she's never Catwoman.
She literally
Dark Knight Rises. She was never Catwoman. She was just a cat burglar.
True, but she literally robs one thing, which is a passport, and that's the only thing that she steals in the whole movie. Because she
steals Cobblepot's money.
Yeah, she grabbed the bag. She grabbed the bag, which that was awesome too. That was awesome. The way that she just like used her motorcycle to like take that guy out and then grab one of the bags. I'm like, yeah, that's my Catwoman right there.
Yeah, but like she's not really being she's not really seen as being a cat burglar. She's just working at the Iceberg Lounge.
Yeah,
and
that first scene between her and Batman was freaking awesome. That was. I didn't know if Zoe could do the physicality, and they just they kicked each other's ass. It was awesome, and it was very much long first appearance. It was like she's picking into a safe.
Every scene she's in, it's like hot.
She was amazing.
The way that she chews gum. I mean, I'm just like, but she's just like,
she was drinking milk.
Why is that
drinking milk? Yeah.
I just love all the wigs that she wears in the movie. And her boots. Oh my gosh.
The boots and the way that she walks in those boots too. I'm just like, God, man.
My favorite one was the longer, I think, was it like pink? Was it like a pink wig?
Yeah, the pink wig.
The longer one, and that dress she had on, man.
Okay, so can we talk about how her own father didn't even recognize his daughter? Like, I get we're not close or anything, but Zoe doesn't age. So like that's what I'm trying to figure out. She looks exactly the same as she did 10 years ago when she was dating Ezra. So yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I had to dispel my disbelief.
is probably bad. That's why he wears
Turturro,
those
sorry.
sunglasses. Yeah,
He's wearing sunglasses the whole time.
yeah. So maybe his vision is really effed up. Like, he can't handle lights.
No,
and
she looked incredible, and I mean that in the most respectful way possible. But like, she had like her waist was like, you know what I mean? I was like, whoa, this is crazy. This is awesome.
Now you're just getting.
Well, I mean, there's the shot of her, like,
I'll tell your wife, Andre.
when she's in the bathroom,
she was amazing. Period.
That shot of her,
yeah, that shot of her in the bathroom when she's like arguing with Bruce. I'm like, even though she's teeny tiny, she's got some guns, man. I was like, she was like leaned up against the sink. And she was like, she was pressed up and flexing, and I was like, damn, look at that. She's got some guns on her.
Do you guys think that? I mean, it ended up. I guess it ended up being integral to the story somehow. But like the whole thing with her roommate. Do you think that she could have been trimmed out of the movie and it still would have been the same thing?
Yeah, it could have probably been. I mean,
I think they gave her a really emotional crux to like, this is a bad guy. I already hate him, and it definitely gave her a movement forward to like, why is she even showing up? Well, somebody killed her friend, lover, whatever,
possibly girlfriend.
But yeah, I think
got that vibe.
She kept calling her baby. Yeah,
right. And so that was definitely a part of it. It's like, this is an innocent that got killed in the war, and she's a part of it.
Yeah,
but this person isn't. And so I know what you're saying there, Jose. But I'm glad they did the Long Halloween connection.
Yeah, with Falcone. Yeah,
you actually got the claw. They actually got the claw scrape. Before he passed, but they were a little bit quick with that. I thought they could have slow played that to another movie or something, but I think that gives a lot of, hey, this is another dysfunctional family in the mix, and it was pretty cool.
I don't know.
Everything about Gotham was dysfunctional. I mean, everyone from the politicians to the cops. It was so horrible. I was like,
can you imagine if Gotham was a real place? Like, it's gotta be. You better not be charging high rent to live there, because this place is insane. How much does insurance cost?
Well, look, it is always. Well, look, it has always been like an allegory for New York at its worst, right? Yeah. Especially New York in the 70s, that sort of thing. So, which is why New York to this day has the nickname of Gotham. So,
oh yeah, that's true. Dave, I don't know if you brought it up yesterday. Maybe you did. Maybe I missed it, but I don't know if everybody here. Pretty much when Falcone was dying and he was staring up at Batman, he knew that was Bruce at that moment.
He did.
Yeah, I think the second time I caught that, where he just kind of like, it was like it was going back to the whole,
when he was getting operated on.
Yeah, and he looked and saw Bruce on the top of the stairs and blah blah blah. I think that was kind of like a callback to that.
There, you look deep into each other's eyes, and like, yes, now he knows who he is.
Yeah, that was really cool. Yeah, and he's in a similar situation where he's dying on laid out. Yeah. And seeing him, it was perfect. I was like,
that was nice. Yeah,
I saw, I was like, oh, he knows, and I was like, that's badass.
Did they ever explain why Falcone killed Selina's mom? I know how she was killed, but I don't know why.
Probably just a jealous rage.
Yeah, who knows?
Fair enough. Yeah,
jealous rage. He's
also,
a piece of shit.
He basically he's the one that killed Bruce's parents, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
ordered their deaths. I think
it's kind of like set up. I mean, when it comes to that Alfred scene and they talk about all that stuff, it's like even Alfred goes like, he's every day he tries to think about that, and very well, it could have been connected to this whole situation, yes, or it just could have been a fucking dude that was just wanting to get a score real quick because he needed money, he needed something. He saw a couple of rich people, who knows? I mean, there's no Joe Chill like conversation really in this movie.
I think that would make a good story, like Batman is so intent on thinking that Falcone is the one that did it or whoever did it, and it was just some random. It was just some random dude.
Yeah, because I've always liked that variant as to exactly who Joe Chill is supposed to be. Was it someone who was actually named Joe Chill, like in the Nolan trilogy, or did this mysterious Joe Chill? Was Joe Chill just a name that Bruce came up with, much like in L.A. Confidential, Rollo Tomasi, like the name they came up with just so we could attach an identity to whoever it was who killed him? And then with Michael Keaton, it turned out to be
it was Jack Nicholson.
Yeah,
Jack Napier. Yeah, which that young actor looks so fucking good.
Wow, where is he now?
I know, man. Where is that guy?
The grid,
see you around, kid.
That was perfect casting.
That was such perfect casting. I was like, that guy should be a young Joker because look, I mean, when he shows his teeth, I was like, good lord, frightening.
He nailed the Jack. You could believe he's like a young Jack Nicholson with that grin, the evil, the eyes, and all that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and another thing was, so I guess his chest thing is are knives, huh? Not
it's knives.
Well, it's like a batarang in a sense.
Before we start talking about that, Ray, you got to go.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on. It was a blast.
No problem. Thanks. I appreciate that. And you guys, make sure you subscribe to her channel, follow her, all that stuff.
Definitely.
Make sure you come back next time.
Bye, Ray.
All right, y'all. Great.
Bye, Ray.
Take care.
All right, take it easy.
Yeah.
All right, now that the ladies gone, let's talk
here we go. So Selena Kyle, man, I'm telling you.
All right.
When he was doing the peeping Tom scene, I was like,
now we could be disgusting men. Just kidding.
Yeah. I had to move 2 seats down for my wife.
All right, let your guts out. Let your guts out.
Let your guts out.
Loosen up that top button on your pants. Right?
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Lose that double chin.
I am never gonna let you live that down, Dave. Where that one opening vid you did, where you not only did the sound effect, you stood up.
What sound effect? What are you talking about?
We were watching the trailer or something, or a TV spot of Batman.
Oh yeah, and then I stood up and I
stood up and did it.
Yeah.
Dude, you should totally
I was like, no, I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this. Dude.
He almost released
exactly
the
why
pen.
I did it. Yeah. No. That's why I did it. I was like, when I was like doing that, I was like, all right, I'm gonna do the zipper, but I'm actually gonna show it this time.
Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah.
Dave, you should do the bit where when he bends down, you should put your face there, like, "Hey, man, you all right?"
Yeah.
I was driving by and I saw you flip over.
Dude.
Hey, what's up, buddy? You okay?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
You look pretty painful.
Excuse me, Mr. Batman. We need to exchange insurance information.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Hey, what insurance you have? Anyways, Doug, you were gonna say something?
Oh no, it's one of those things that like the convention for so long has been, if you have too many villains in a movie, it's going to convolute things. But this one is like you basically have 4 villains. You've got.
Well, that's the thing. It's all about the writing. That's the thing. It's like you can have all that, but the thing is, what everybody always alludes to, like what everybody always references, is Spider-Man 3. But the fact of the matter is
or Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, is the fact that like it's the studio trying to cram too much shit. It's not the filmmaker that's trying to do that. We've heard that Raimi was like, no, the movie was supposed to be a Sandman movie. It was not supposed to be Venom. But they wanted Venom, so he had to shoehorn him into that. And it's just caused, because the Sandman story in Spider-Man 3 is excellent. I think that is the strongest part of that movie. Is the Sandman storyline, but they wanted to cram Venom in, and they're like, okay, who do we get? Topher Grace.
So
okay.
So
Raymond was like, okay, you want Venom? You're gonna get Bully Maguire.
Yeah,
okay, that's your one.
Yeah. It was like Raimi was like, you know what? I'm gonna go back to my Army of the Dead, Army of the not Army
Darkness.
of the Dead, Army of Darkness. Yeah, getting confused. Like fan favorite. No, the Army of Darkness kind of. I'm gonna go back to those and just like I'm gonna do some stupid, ridiculous shit that I do. Fuck this, if it almost seemed like it was like that case where it's like, all right, you want this storyline? I'm gonna make it my way, and you're not gonna like it. Kind of thing, maybe. But then again, it's still inspirational. Did you see that kid on TikTok? That little kid. There's like a video on TikTok, and it was on Twitter also. There was like a kid. He's like probably like fucking 4 years old, and he's in the classroom, and they're all like dancing. You know what the kid's doing? He's doing this and doing the fucking full on Bully Maguire dance. Like, I'm surprised you guys haven't seen it yet. Yeah, I'm surprised you guys haven't seen it yet, but he is full on doing it. He's just, man, he's like in his own bubble, and it's like, wow. I'm surprised you guys haven't seen that. Let's just look it up. You'll probably find it on Twitter. It's fucking hilarious. But so even though how ridiculous that is, it's still pretty, it's really
all you need to do is take the Venom stuff out, and it's certainly like, well, I mean, like the whole like new Goblin thing. Well, that was set up at the very end of Spider-Man 2. So of course
100%. Yeah.
But again, like
but I mean, like of course, Harry losing his memory, that was a little interesting, even though it gave us it gave us a cool meme or a cool gif from James Franco where he does the wink. But it's just like that movie's it just goes kind of all over the place where, especially coming after Spider-Man 2, which is arguably the best live action but then
it's in my Blu-ray player right now because I bought the trilogy set and that's the last one I watched, and I was like, they just took me back to watching it as a kid. And I was just like, it's not that bad. I mean,
no, it's a great movie. I saw it in the theater. I was like, dude, this is badass. That was at the first one of the first like really big CBMs that existed.
Spider-Man 3?
The scene
Spider-Man 2. Sorry, I'm talking about Spider-Man 2. Yeah. When that came out, that was like, holy shit.
I think I saw it 3 times in the
scene where he saves Gwen from the crane thing. That's
a cool scene.
That was badass. He goes through the rubble. And it smashes right after he goes through it. I was like, whoa, that's pretty cool.
Going back to the Batman, we were talking about jokes earlier, and to me, my favorite joke, for some reason, was when they figure out the whole URL and all that stuff, and all of a sudden they're like, all right, let's go. He's like, hey, did you guys forget I'm still here?
Yeah. Well, what's also great about that is like the fact that his legs are tied, so he waddles like a penguin, and it's
and then they just drive away. He's like, "You son of a bitch!"
And that's one of the things with the multiple villains. Like, I think they can very much do a Long Halloween where Penguin and Joker might be in the background as a side plot, and really flesh out some big characters, be it Hugo Strange or Hush or whoever.
Yeah, so let's talk about that elephant in the room, that scene, Joker scene, because like last night when we talked on Vodka Stream, it's when first off, there was
Garza?
I thought it was Two-Face.
When Garza was going off,
dude, that was like, it was funny, like when that happened. I mean, I love the guy to death. Come on.
The man said, "Fuck." The man said,
"He really
fuck you,
Matt
Reeves." When he left.
You guys thought it was Two-Face, like
he got so upset.
You guys have to catch me up on this, because while you were like going on with Garza, Dave, I was watching Batman. So
let's recap. So fuck Matt Reeves. Fuck Clay Anos. Who else?
Dave runs off.
But yeah, so like,
did he really think it was Two-Face?
Yeah,
like when he left the theater,
he thought it was Two-Face,
and
everybody said, "Oh, that was Joker," and he goes, "What the fuck?" And it was. It's
so
fine. They kind of talked him into
mad.
it. And he got
mad because he's like, well, they should have made it more clear that it was Joker.
It was obvious.
It's very clear with the laugh.
Was fucking laughing like
the clown joke.
Yeah,
the joke about the clown. It's pretty obvious.
It was pretty obvious. I was like, and I mean, I thought it was a cool.
Seriously,
it was a cool scene. I don't know. His laugh was very.
I don't like it. It was underwhelming.
You know what? It felt shoehorned. It was kind of like, why is this here? Why wasn't that a end credit scene?
You know what? Not to be like all conspiracy theories and stuff, but it kind of felt to me like a studio thing. Like, just put Joker in there.
It did.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say too. And going back to the Garza thing, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because my nephew, even though my nephew's 19, 20 maybe, he thought it was Two-Face at first too, but just because of the way it looked, he's like, oh, it's Two-Face. But then when he heard the laugh, he's like, oh, okay. But so I mean, I can get where Garza was coming from when it came to that, because his face is fucked up. I'm kind of wondering if they're going to release a shot of him.
I thought they
fully
did.
in makeup. Yeah, so I'm wondering if that's
we knew though. I mean, the guards
yeah,
not
yeah,
know
that's the
about
thing.
about how Barry's brother got drunk.
Has he
and
fallen
said,
off? Like he should.
Hey,
well, what's
he
funny
kind of
too
took a
is,
break
what's
off
funny
social
too is,
media.
I think it was the Eternals premiere, and I remember I did it on Film Junkie Live, where somebody was passing around a video where Barry, how do you say his name? Cohen or Keoghan or whatever, and he like laughs. He laughs like to somebody, and I had that, and then I cut it out and put it as a short. This was back in like January. And now that video is like blowing up because people are just like, "What, Barry Keoghan Joker?" And I'm like, "Oh, look at that!"
I follow someone on Twitter that he said that he knew for while they were filming the movie he knew about it, and then like I was saying, his brother got all drunk one night, I guess, and said, "Oh, I guess it's out of the bag that my brother is playing Joker." And this and that.
He did post that.
So it's like, so we knew, like if any of us saw that, we knew.
Yeah, but some people just, they don't know that stuff. But when like the first showing, when that happened, when he said clown, people started going, "Ooh!" Like you heard that in the movie theater. The second showing, not so much, but when it comes to that scene, it very much plays out like a post-credit scene, like it should have been like
it felt like it should have been,
But I like the fact that they're that Matt Reeves is like, no, we're not going to do, even though there was like something post-credit, right, when it came to the website or whatever. But it wasn't anything like, it wasn't an actual scene, but it does play out very much like that. And I know there's like people are kind of griping like, does that really fit? Now what are we going to do? And I know he's talked about it too, but apparently they shot another scene where literally Batman walks into Arkham and talks to the Joker like he's a Hannibal Lecter kind of character. And I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yeah, because they have history together.
Yeah, they like literally Joker says, "Is it our 1-year anniversary?" So it's like, and I'm kind of going
alternate scene.
Man,
wow,
yeah,
I want to see that.
They filmed that, and then because he's asking him, it's like, so you've talked to the Riddler, like, how does he think? I want to know how he thinks, and I guess the Joker says he thinks like you. It's like, whoa, I'm like, that would have been probably better.
Did they release the scene?
Wait. So
no. Matt Reeves explained a scene that he like apparently shot that was.
Where was that scene at? That would have been so much better.
Because I've heard different things. I've heard that there was going to be 2 scenes with Joker in the movie.
That could have been the other one. I kind of guess maybe.
But that doesn't make any sense to me, because what you're saying, Dave, if he asked him about the Riddler, that means because Riddler wasn't locked up in Arkham until
I know. I think this is like after time has passed. Maybe I don't know. And that so they've been
sounds
talking.
Like we either would have got the scene with Joker and Riddler, or we would have got this scene with Batman and Joker. Sounds like to me.
It was one or the other.
Yeah.
And then Dave, I found that video you were talking about.
Which video?
The kid dancing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah.
I turned the sound off so you won't get hit. But there he is. There he is. He's literally doing it.
Oh my god.
That's so fucking cool.
I can hear the music. I can hear this music.
Yeah.
Oh my
God. Yeah, look at
that. What a legend.
Yeah.
It's funny though. It's funny. Peter Jason posted that. I was like, oh my god, there it is.
There it is. Yeah, you cut out the best part. They showed actually Maguire at the end.
I didn't want him to get copyright.
We get it.
About the Joker scene that we got. Early on, like when you hear his voice, he does like where Riddler's like is crying. So But Joker's
Jose doesn't like
assuring him, it's like, don't worry, like this could be an origin story. And at that I was thinking, okay. So
Gotham loves a comeback story.
Yeah,
I like that. I like that line.
That from now on, now that everybody knows who he is, from now on, he's not, instead of having, the stupid Gimp mask, he's going to have, like the suit and the hat.
Okay, so that's one of the things I wanted to ask you guys too. Is like, okay, so when it comes to him in the sequel, for me, I want more teasing of the Joker in the sequel, but I don't want him to be the main villain. Maybe wait till the third one where all the rogues finally, like, we're gonna have this epic, like, everybody's gonna be Riddler, Joker, Penguin,
that's
all
what
these guys.
That's what I'm wondering, because I'm like, that left me like, okay, so when now they're gonna be it's gonna be a Joker Riddler?
I really hope not, because everybody's gonna be like, what is this, like Dark Knight? It's like,
what is this, Gotham? Or
no.
Oh wait, no, that was Penguin and Riddler. Never mind.
No, I really hope that Matt Reeves is just like, continue teasing him, that there is a Joker in this world who has been locked up, and maybe there is an origin story. And I'm kind of wondering, like, are we going to get the origin story where he was, part of the, he was wearing the Red Hood, and he was wearing the helmet and the cane or something, some form of that, and he fell. Excuse me. He fell into that. I know that just snuck up on me right there. Yeah,
good.
Yeah, I'm good. No, but like he falls into the chemicals, and we get all that. Just rereading Batman Ego, and there's like a section where they talk about that and show like a bunch of panels. I took a picture of that. I'm like, man, if Matt Reeves were to tackle that, that'd be pretty sweet, because we really haven't seen. I mean, we in '89 we saw him fall into it, but it was different. It wasn't the same.
To go back to what Eric was saying, I don't think Reeves is going to go for the whole cane and hat and suit with the question marks on. I think he's going to keep it more.
Yeah.
Maybe not the Gimp mask anymore, but I wouldn't mind if he kept I wouldn't even mind if he kept that outfit. Honestly,
it's not. It's
at
creepy.
The very least, I could see him putting on like a nice, like green colored, suit, green colored, suit jacket and so on. At the very least, like that looks good as opposed to looking, dorky or whatever. I could see
what did Edward say to him? He's all, your mask is phenomenal. So I wouldn't be surprised. Like maybe at one point he's gonna get. Maybe the Riddler will have a kind of mask. I'm not saying like a full cowl, but maybe something that's gonna cover at least the top part of his face. That looks kind of, it's green, but it looks like Batman's almost like mask. I don't know. He just was like, I remember that line, and when I watched it the second time, I went, man, he really likes his mask. He called it phenomenal.
And he really broke him down too, and he really kind of brought up that whole topic that we've heard in other movies before, where it's kind of like, your mask is so good, even though it's like, he talked about the whole mask thing, where it's like, you are Batman. Like, I don't know about his identity and stuff, and so I thought that was really cool to have him kind of break him down, as opposed to like Alfred or Batman doing it to himself. So that's why that scene I thought was my favorite scene, was when, I know Jose doesn't like it, but but I thought that was a really cool scene to see the dynamics of Paul Dano, getting really loud and very crazy, and then all of a sudden he realizes, he's like, what did you do? He's like, oh, you're not as smart as I thought you were. And then he goes back there, and then
he starts singing.
Yeah.
He starts singing, which was crazy enough. But then when he goes back to the crime scene, the cop is like, "That's crazy that he used a carpet lifter,"
which was like, convenient. Carpet tucker. Yeah.
Carpet tucker.
Tucker.
He was like, "What?" He was like, "Yeah, that's what that is. My dad used to work on carpets." And he was like, "Oh shit!" And it was funny because like he completely overlooked that, because he was like, "That's the murder weapon. I saw that the outline of that on the floor." Yeah. And they kind of just dropped it from there, because he was he got too caught up in just what was happening that he didn't even see that. He didn't even think about that. And then he pulls out the freaking carpet, and it's a whole map of the seawall, all the lights. I was like, oh my god, like And
I mean, when people have and then all of a sudden it just happens, and he's just like, call Gordon, and just boom, 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 and it's all happening, and it's like, oh,
well,
shit.
He thought he already figured it out. That's the thing. He was like, that's what he said. He said, "Oh, you're not as smart as I thought you were," because he thought he had already figured that part out. He was like, "Oh shoot!"
And Riddler had it timed perfectly. He was like, "Boom," and the bomb went off.
No, I like that. I do like that. I mean, that's when people say like, "Oh man, it was like jarring," like and all of a sudden we're getting this whole thing. I'm like, yeah, but I mean, it was something that Batman missed. I mean, even though he's a great detective, he missed this whole thing where, oh shit, this is now happening. And so when it came to that, even though it was convenient, like that cop,
because he sent him that what do you call it, the carpet tucker or whatever, like he sent him that in that when it said to Batman, and he was like, what's that? And he goes, it's the murder weapon, and he chalked it up to that, and then he just Then later on, he goes and talks to him, and he completely overlooked it instead of saying like, why did he send me this? What is this? You know what I mean? And I
it's
think
kind of cool too. It's kind of cool too that like because even in the beginning when he murders Mayor Mitchell, I mean, I love like the fact that when like that shot where like he just like throws it and it just like lands in the camera the way it is and everything's blurry except for that. I mean, again, talking about lenses. I mean, Jesus Christ, I love that emphasis on it. And it was kind of like when I watched it again, I'm like, oh shit. I mean, that was a murder weapon. Why would he choose that as a murder weapon? And it's because that's part of the puzzle.
And he completely overlooked it. He was just like, "Oh my god, dude, how did I overlook that?" Like,
and you know what? It's kind of like a parallel to when Bruce is at the mansion and he like starts writing all the stuff on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
At least I see.
Oh yeah. That's true.
He has that whole thing.
He like moves the big table
and he writes all that stuff on the floor.
On the floor.
He's spray painting too.
I'm like, didn't think about that.
Yeah, and then later at the end, he finds Riddler's plan on the floor right there under the carpet.
Didn't think about that.
And then if you think about Matt Reeves' comment that the Joker would have said, he thinks like you. That could also be another parallel right there where it's
see, that's the thing. I'm like, why? Okay, are we gonna get this scene? Please release that, Matt.
I want to see that scene.
Well, he said
I want to see that. Oh man,
I think we're probably gonna. If it's not an extended movie on HBO Max, it's probably gonna have like an extra scene on the.
If he actually shot that scene, he's got to release it.
Well, it's probably going to drop on freaking Twitter one day. We're like, oh, there it is.
Okay, well, think about this. He wants to expand this universe with like shows and stuff like that. He's talked about that, and he's even talked about how like, on streaming you can have an extended stuff. You can't tell me if he actually shot that scene, and that sounds. And we're all going, wow, that sounds like that would be better than what we actually got. But then now we're kind of going like, well, what if it's added to what we got? They're gonna release it.
Hold on. If I'll say this, how many times like we've heard Zack Snyder talk about the deleted scenes from Man of Steel, from BVS, from Justice League, and we still haven't seen any of them. So,
well, what from Man of Steel? I thought he said that was the definitive cut.
Yeah, he's always said that.
He's talked about other scenes, like he talked about how the Man of Steel, the Krypton scenes were longer. That it was with the
but at the same time,
it's going to be one long take.
But they've always said that was the definitive cut. Even Larry Fong said that too. Like, there's not going to be But when it comes to BVS, yes, I could see that because there are scenes that we heard about, like Superman trying to find his mom, and all he hears is like.
And then him doing research.
Him doing more research on Bruce. Yeah.
Yep.
And Batman, I should say.
And it was supposed to be set in the winter too.
First. Sure.
Yeah, originally it was in the winter time.
Because after Lois, leaves the grave, they Zach filmed the scene in IMAX of her walking like down the road away from the cemetery and the snow's coming down.
Yeah.
Am I mistaken? But remember the shot in the trailer for the Batman where Bruce has his like sunglasses on and is looking at a newspaper?
Okay. So
was that
was in there because at first when you watch that scene, you think that he's out and about, like trying to spy on somebody. Yeah. I thought that's what it was. Like he was like at a train station or I don't know. He was
but
somewhere.
That was when he was at home with Alfred.
That was when he was at home. Yeah,
and he had no shirt on, or he had like the black shirt on.
He had a black shirt on, and he didn't have sunglasses on. And then a little bit into the scene, he puts them on.
Yeah.
And then that's when he kind of has that scene.
That was a little like, oh, okay, so he's not out and about like following. So I thought he was going to be like out and about.
Doesn't it look like he has a suit on in the trailer?
It kind of when you see it in the trailer, yeah. But it's he's just wearing a black shirt and he's looking at the newspaper, and I mean it's kind of funny too because like they're really going for the emphasizing the fact that he's a nocturnal type animal, but I'm like,
that's what he calls himself.
Vampire. You're getting a little too close to vampire, Matt Reeves. Let's not do that. Because I get
he kind
of
was right there, yeah.
But and that might be like a gripe that I have too is the fact that he's like, oh, sunlight. Let me put some sunglasses on because it's so bright in here, and I was like, All right, now we're getting a little too. Yeah, that might be like that. That's a gripe. That's a
if you notice, he's always out like when the sun is barely about to come up, and then he just and then he leaves.
Yeah. So now we know Dave's biggest 2 gripes in the movie were Pattinson wearing sunglasses and the kid who plays Tim Drake in Titans.
Well,
Don't do that. Don't do that.
My gripe is a theory that he is possibly going to be the new Robin. I'm like, no. He's already going to be. He's already going to be a Robin somewhere else.
Can you imagine
on a show that has failed me every season finale? God damn it!
That show is a mess. I mean, that show it's like when they're filming it. They're like, hey guys, if you feel the need to drop an F-bomb, go for it. Okay, you got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true.
I don't mind. I mean, I don't mind the fact that it's like that, but it's just. It seems like it starts off. Every season starts off strong, where I'm like, okay, and then I just start going, huh, what are you doing right now?
Just like, what happened?
When you kill an Amazon with electricity, that's when you kind of lose me right there.
Oh, dude!
And then when you try to tell me that this Alfred looking guy is actually Bruce Wayne, I don't know about that.
I'll say this about that. I mean, I've been saying
I don't mind that too much. Yeah,
he's too skinny. It's like
no, but also it's a Titan show, and it's like how many Batman characters are we gonna have in here? Like it's a Titan show.
Like invade Wayne Manor. It's like, is Bruce gonna come home and be like, hey, you guys gotta go, dude, get out?
And can Gar turn into something other than a tiger? Like,
I know, right?
Can he do that?
Oh my god.
Well, I mean, like anytime when it comes to these shows, it's like it's always. I mean, look at Arrow. How many times do they pull from?
I've never watched Arrow.
They pulled from Batman. I mean, and I'm not saying it was a bad thing because I would say like the first 3 seasons of Arrow were actually pretty damn solid. Yeah, 4 started getting like, oh boy, and then I started 5 and I'm like, nah, that's not happening. But it's like they always, anytime when it comes to these shows, they are trying to be. They're like, we have to have something Batman, and I'm like, all right, so when the fuck are we actually just going to get a Batman full-on series?
When you have some pimply, squeaky voice kid shoot Nightwing in the neck, I'm done. Red Hood, get the fuck out of here, bro.
Yeah, I know. Like I was like, oh, go ahead.
I'll say this about Ian Glenn's, Bruce. Like I've said this a lot. Like he's basically the Adam West Batman taken seriously. Once you realize that in a nutshell, you can accept him.
Oh, he looks just like Adam West. Honestly, he really does.
And by the way, speaking of which, I'm sure y'all have noticed that the Robert Pattinson, his Batman cowl is very much the Adam West cowl. Only
yeah.
I noticed that right from the beginning,
from the first look.
Yeah, like because the ears are really like they're back. They're more. They're not like
also like the way they structure the eyes too.
Yes, the way they structure the eyes and even the nose.
The nose thing.
I actually didn't like the face of the cowl. It bothered me the entire time. The nose, everything about it, like, and it sucks because like I kept trying to ignore it. Like, no, just focus on the movie, focus on what's happening. But I kept looking at his face. I was like, I don't like his cowl. I don't like the cowl. And now I know why he has a collar. For one, I think the collar looks cool that he wears, his collar. But I also figured out, watch the movie. I was like, oh, I get it. By giving him a collar, now he has more flexibility with his neck because you don't see the crinkle, when he turns his head. So I was like, oh, that makes more sense. Like, hey, if we give him a collar, then it doesn't matter. Like,
he's not doing the bat turn.
Another thing. Not a lot of cape porn. I need some cape porn.
There was, you're actually right. I know. When I was watching Batman v Superman, I'm like, God damn, the cape porn and
the cape porn is everywhere, man.
It's all over the place, and there wasn't a lot of cape porn when it came to the Batman. I'll give you that. Yeah,
the cape was almost non-existent.
Yeah, the last time we had a full-on Batman TV show was Adam. Yeah, and the Gotham show only had Batman in one. Yeah, I know. See, that's the thing. It's like I don't know. I think it's true. And when the first season of Daredevil came out, I went every time I watched an episode of Daredevil, I went, there could be a Batman series just
exactly.
Like Batman series just like this.
the fighting style of Daredevil, I was always like, dude, this is what I want to see a Batman show be like. Just brutal fighting.
Yeah.
That's
what I kept. Yeah, that whole first season when I was watching, I'm like, there could be a Batman series.
Well, I mean, with all the, we can nitpick for days and everything, but I mean, to me, after what I've just watched it one time, I'm gonna go see it again tomorrow. Pattinson is my second favorite Batman. Affleck is top.
That too. Yeah, Affleck. I mean, it's hard to beat. It's hard to beat Affleck.
Yeah, it's hard.
It really is.
Pattinson. I mean, before that it was Bale, but that was just by default. But I mean, because I was waiting for someone to come in and be like, "Can you please just get Bale out of here?" But and now it's Pattinson because I mean, come on, compare the fighting of Pattinson to Bale's fighting.
Oh, it's so much better.
Well, yeah,
Like,
I mean, it's not his fault though. I mean, that's how they want
it. I mean, when it comes to Christopher Nolan, I mean, he's not. He's never been a choreography
Also,
guy.
the Batman action scenes were cool and all, but the warehouse scene is still top for me.
You can't beat that. You can't beat that.
No. Just even rewatching Batman vs Superman, I'm like, I mean, even watching, like I said, even with Dark Knight and Batman Begins, I'm like, what I love about all this is the fact it's like, man, we have like these different huge filmmakers. We have Christopher Nolan, Zack Snyder, Matt Reeves making Batman, like modern Batman movies. How fucking, and they have their different takes and they're all distinct. And just watching them again, I'm like, God damn it. It's like Nolan really grounded it. And then, he had Batman Begins and he did a great job of like really establishing that origin story. So Zack Snyder and Matt Reeves didn't have to do that. That was great. And it was like, okay. And then it was like these big movies, and Dark Knight was even bigger. And you had Joker and Batman. I mean, it's just so excellent, that story, just that back and forth and that whole thing. And then you have Matt Reeves who just decides, all right, I'm going to go darker, way darker. It's not going to be as grounded, even though I'm going to say it's grounded, but it's not as grounded but it's just, you watch it and then just watching like Zack Snyder, what he did is like, well, I have other characters that I have to incorporate. And he does it so well, even keeping Batman and Superman grounded in a sense, even though it's pretty extravagant, but there's still like groundedness in there. Like all three of them have like, they've grounded the character, but they've done like different things when it comes to the world around them, which I think is so unique. And it's just like, picking up a comic book that's written by somebody different than from the previous one, or like a one-off. And that's why when I see people just like on Twitter, just like, no, that's not my Batman, or that's, I'm like, shut the fuck up. This is all great. This is all great to have these different voices that are, and you can pick which one's your favorite. I'm like, I'm probably still leaning towards that Dark Knight might still be my favorite Batman movie, but is Bale my favorite Batman? No. Ben Affleck is, it's like he still embodies that, but maybe I like the movie more, The Dark Knight, because there's just something about how the movie plays out as a movie and a story. But I can still say like, and then I'm like, well, then when it comes to Pattinson, I'm like, he brought in something different, and Matt Reeves brought in something different. It's my favorite. Maybe it's my favorite in this sense, but maybe I don't know. It's just
no. The thing is that we should be able to enjoy all of these different adaptations.
Yeah, exactly.
And we should want each movie to get better.
Exactly, to be successful.
We shouldn't want it to just be the Dark Knight is never gonna get topped. Like I see people online on Twitter that haven't even seen the Batman yet. They're like, nah, nothing's gonna top the Dark Knight, dude. You haven't even seen the movie.
Yeah, my brother was actually like that. He's all, even
if it doesn't, oh well, who cares? That's fine. You can enjoy the Dark Knight and you can enjoy the Batman. You don't need.
There's gonna be people out there that, and I've seen it many times. They're like, this is the best Batman film. I'm like, cool. I don't know if I'm there, but I think it's up there and like maybe in my top 3.
It's the most Batman movie. I'll say it's the most Batman movie of all time.
For sure. I mean, and there's things that are more like, we always talk about how Gotham City is like, I think is the best. It's been shown in this movie for sure.
Definitely. It's a good story too. It's a full mystery story.
Yeah. The detective aspect of it. I mean, there's so many things that outshines the other movies in this, but everybody's going to have their own takes of like, just like with comic books, like, oh, my favorite Batman book is Long Halloween. Well, mine's Year One, or mine's Dark Knight Returns. It's like, yeah, those are different fucking interpretations. Congratulations. I'm glad you like a different version than me, and we can still talk about it. Wow, isn't that
it's a bunch
concept?
of just gatekeeping bullshit, man.
I know,
You
I hate it.
Yeah, it's like, if you're a fan of the Batman, you're a shill. Like,
and then Andrew saying that Michael Keaton is his favorite. That's perfectly fine too.
That's fine. He's the one that started it all.
Exactly. He didn't have the chin, he had the lips. That's what I always say.
Lip.
He had the lips.
He slept upside down, hanging from a thing.
Upside down. He did. He stayed true to the animal.
That was Tim Burton. Tim Burton really
was a true nocturnal animal.
Dude, one of the things I always talk about the Burton movies is the fact that he really wanted these characters to be like the animals that they were trying to be, because Catwoman, when she was like, I'm going to take a bath, and she was literally just licking the leather and doing that, I'm like, that's ridiculous.
Penguins eating fish.
Yeah. See, Doug's like, oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, I've been in the closet for years.
Whoa.
I hate.
Oh, no.
I'm kidding.
I hate Batman Returns.
Come on, Jose.
Sorry, it's the beer talking. Sorry,
I know. I hate Batman Returns.
You
know what?
I hate Batman Returns.
I don't hate it, but I like Batman Forever better. That's the thing.
Right. I'm with you, Dave. And so
I don't know. I have bias because I'm sorry. So go ahead.
It's just way too much. It's just way too much.
Too Burton. Too Burton.
It's 100% Burton. It's 100% Burton.
I love the Catwoman in that, and that's about it. And
she's just too sexy.
Well, I'm biased because that was literally the first Batman movie I ever watched when I was a kid. The VHS. I watched Returns before I even watched '89 Batman.
Yeah,
really?
That makes a big difference.
Yeah,
I saw '89 Batman in the theater. I was like, dude,
so did I.
I was a kid. I was like, wow,
what are you talking about? Over here.
We're older guys. It's funny because when I was watching the Batman, I was enjoying the movie, and I was really into it, but like there was a part of me, of course, that kept thinking to myself like, I tried not to a lot because I was like, no, just focus on the movie, dude. But a part of me was kind of like, I wonder what the Ben Affleck movie would have been like. I think
we're all gonna wonder that. But
because
what I hate seeing though is when people are like, that movie sucked. Anything Ben Affleck would have gave us would have been better. I'm like,
without even seeing it.
Well, you don't even know that for sure. I mean, I'm not saying it was going to be bad, but I just hate it when people you can spot the people that you knew that they were going to hate it no matter what.
You know what pisses me off is what I want to like yell at. I want to yell at these people is, well, then go fucking tell that to Ben Affleck. Then go talk shit to Ben Affleck because the reason we're not getting this movie is because of him.
I'm done.
He doesn't want to do the movie. If he wanted to do the movie, he would be doing it. And he doesn't want to do it. He went and did The Flash. He's doing The Flash. In his own words, he said this is his favorite. This was the best that he's ever played Batman. His favorite scenes were in this movie playing Batman. And that's it. And he said it's the finish. It's an ending to my character or whatever the fuck he said.
If he came out and said, I would love to do the film if the situation was right. But right now it's not, something like that. Then I'd be like, hey, wait a minute, there's a chance. But
but he hasn't said anything like that.
He hasn't said anything like that. I mean, I hope that he would come back, but I don't know. I don't.
By the way, those same gatekeepers are hating on the Flash, even despite what Ben Affleck said about it.
Oh, which about that? I don't know if you've heard, Dave, that Enosh is going to interview Ezra on his show.
Did he say that? Yeah. No. Well, I know he's been in contact. With him,
he said it's officially they're setting it up. He's going to interview him, and exclusivo. He said that after talking to Ezra, his worrying about the Flash movie has gone down.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, my worrying's gone down with talking to people who are working on the movie, which I talked to.
Oh, somebody else just joined this week from Zach's crew. They just joined like this week, right? The VFX crew. That's what I saw.
Who?
I forgot the name, but somebody that also worked on Justice League just joined the Flash crew.
No. I mean, like, I heard about the Enosh thing, and I'm like, yeah, good. I mean, that's the thing. It's like when it comes to this movie, I can't. I can't just like go, oh no, I can't because of the Ray Fisher thing, and I can't, I shouldn't support this movie, and I get shit for it all the time, and it's like I don't give a shit. But I'm like, Ezra really wants this movie to be something special. He's been, this thing has been in pre-production hell for so long. First off, and then finally it's gotten made, and he's put a lot of him into it. Like he wanted to make a Flash movie that was near and dear to the character and all this stuff like that. And he's very well aware of what's happening with all this stuff. He wanted Ray Fisher in it, just like the Muschiettis wanted Ray Fisher in it. But Ray Fisher, he dug his heels in. This whole thing like that he got fired, it's not the case. It's the fact that Ray Fisher dug his heels in and he said, I'm not going to work with this regime, and power to him. That's actually, I think that's better than him getting fired. I think that the fact that he held it and said, no, I'm not going to do this. And, put his career on the line. I think that's even better than the whole narrative that he got fired. And it's like, no, he didn't. But and it's going to be interesting to see further on, like when Ezra starts making appearances, and fingers crossed that I can get him on the vodka stream, because that'd be a lot of fun.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'm trying. We'll see what happens. But
by the way, Dave,
like to see where that goes with Ezra Miller's Instagram. Yeah.
Have you messaged him on Instagram?
I have.
Has he replied?
Go ahead, Eric. Yeah, he hasn't.
By the way, talk about all the grief that these people are giving you about Flash. I mean, last night before I went to see Batman, I tweeted that, hey, I'm going to be wearing my associate producer shirt when I'm watching Batman. Why? Because it's a habit. But then, and people are liking it. But then some punk goes and says, you do not deserve to call yourself a Snyder fan because you're gonna support the Snyderverse, blah 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 blah.
Probably the same guy that replied to Dave.
Yeah, and I quote tweeted the guy, and I was like, dude, I hate to tell you this, but for the past 3 years, I have done more for the Snyder Cut and the Snyderverse than you ever have. So shut the hell up.
Yep. There it is.
I mean, the man himself said it. Even if you tweeted one time, release a Snyder Cut, you're a part of this.
Yeah, exactly. And I've always said that too. No matter what, we all had a part in the whole thing. No matter what you did, if you did campaigns, if you donated, if you tweeted it once, if you put a microphone and a camera in front of your face, you're all, we all had a hand in helping getting that movie out, So it's like, but yeah, some people want to take that away, like we didn't really do that. And then the fact that we're supporting these other movies, and it sucks because it's like, yeah, the suits, we hate a couple few suits that are pieces of shit, and we hope that they get ousted next month. But at the same time, it's like, does that mean like the filmmakers have to suffer? I'm like, when I watch the Batman, I'm supporting Matt Reeves, Robert Pattinson, Zoe Kravitz, all those guys that worked really hard on a unique Batman that came out. That's what I'm supporting. Yeah. It's like, yeah, I know that the studio is still going to get my money and stuff like that, but at the same time, I'm going and supporting the filmmaker. It's the same thing when it comes to Black Adam, when it comes to Aquaman,
who do you think got the money when we all bought Zack Snyder's Justice League?
Oh, I know. I brought that up to somebody. I brought that up to somebody who was like giving me shit yesterday. I was like, "Hey, did you not watch on HBO Max? Did you buy the Blu-ray?" That went to the same people that you were like against, but you wanted to support Zack Snyder, right? You wanted to support Zack Snyder, right? Well, that's what I want to do when it comes to Matt Reeves, when it comes to Andy Muschietti's and the VFX dudes that I've talked to, DJ and Brian Hirota. I want to support those guys of what they're doing, and that's just, I'm sorry. I'm supporting the content makers. Yes, it sucks that there's suits of this company that suck ass that we know. Yeah. But what can I do? I'm not. What am I going to do? If I watch Peacemaker and I enjoyed it, I'm not going to lie and say it sucks. I enjoyed it. So anyways,
Now that you bring up Peacemaker, no, I'm just kidding.
I know I brought up Peacemaker, man. So, but I think we'll wrap it up right here. Wow, the campus security dude. Yeah, thank you for Jason for whatever the hell you did right there. But scamming.
Well, that's gonna be an interesting story.
Give him money.
Yeah, but anyways, guys, let's go around the horn, promote stuff you're working on, stuff you're doing. First off, well, okay, Eric, you seem like you have something. We'll save you for last.
Best
Jacob,
for last.
Yeah. You got anything you want to promote or anything like that? You've been pretty quiet.
Jacob just observes. He observes. He takes in the all the information to use against us later.
Yes, that's exactly what I do.
That's what it does. Just keep giving me crap for not knowing pop stars.
That's why I post in the chat every day.
Tennis shade. Tennis
that's
shade.
what it was. I know. He like hit me a little. It's pronounced. Yeah. All right, but thank you. Hey, thank you, Jacob, for showing up. Doug, you got anything?
Doug Verby at Doug Verby on Twitter, and thanks, Dave.
Yeah, no problem, man. And then Andre Nicotine, of course.
Well, you can find me on Twitter at Nicotina_show, and then also on YouTube as well at the Nicotina Show. I'll be live on Monday talking about the Batman. This is actually the longest talk I've had about it. I haven't done any streams since I saw it, so I was like, I had time tonight. So I was like, I'm gonna get on the stream tonight, and I'm gonna talk about it. So, but no, it was a good movie, and it kind of like what these guys were saying earlier. It's like if you're a fan of something and you want to see a movie and whatever, just go see a movie. And make a decision on your own if you like the movie or not.
Yeah.
I thought the Batman was a good movie. I liked it a lot.
Yeah. All right, Jose.
Well, I'm Jose. I'm the best mod on YouTube according to my sources. Currently, I'm working on this third beer.
Nice.
Arch nemesis of Jesse Allen.
Yeah. He's definitely banned next time I see him. My Twitter profile name is right there on my picture thingy.
Yeah, love it.
I already gained 3 followers just from tonight. So
see, look at that.
So yeah, I'll see you guys in the chat.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Eric.
Okay. Well, first you can follow me on Twitter at Hardboiled Films. You can see me on YouTube, Hardboiled Entertainment. You can see that on the screen. And well, do I have something to plug right this tonight? Not necessarily, but I am going to say something is going to happen very, very soon. A certain big announcement, which we've been, giving hints about in previous episodes of this stream. So I'm just going to say, but by the way, Dave, I DM'd you earlier today.
I know, I got it. Yeah.
All right. So, and you said email me the recording. All right. So that's that. So I've just said keep your eyes peeled on the at JL Motion Comic on Twitter.
Sounds good.
Awesome, there you go. I know. Meg showed up right at the end. Hi, Meg.
Jose Ligma.
No, she wanted to come in and just say that.
Well, you got a super chat too.
How dare you? I know.
Meg,
look at that.
Yeah.
I thought, you know what? I hope there's going to be some kind of, we talked about it earlier in the stream. I hope there's going to be something Dick Grayson-y.
I heard. Hey, Meg. I heard Deez is looking for you. Just want to let you know.
Well, you know what? Selena Kyle. She said Bloodhaven.
I know.
She's like, I'll probably be in Bloodhaven. I was like, whoa, there it is.
Also, awesome. Can't wait for Zach to post something on Vero praising the Batman. I really.
I know. When that happens, what are these guys gonna?
He didn't mean that. He was coerced.
Yeah, he's praised the trailers and Matt Reeves already. I know. I'm wondering. Is he gonna actually post that? Like, when is that gonna happen? When is Zach gonna see the? Batman?
He's probably already watched it. He probably got a screener from WB themselves.
Or I wouldn't be sorry. Like on his birthday, maybe like him and Debbie went and watched it, had a night of it. I really want to know. I want him to post something about it, because not just because it's gonna trigger some people, but I want that praise because he was the last one to have Batman. Yeah. I want that almost like, hey, the baton was, you have the baton. You did something special. I've been fucking, all the trailers have been gnarly. I love both of them as directors. They're like my favorite directors right now. I just want to see that.
I want him to tweet it, and then I want Matt Reeves to quote tweet it.
Fuck yeah, that's what I want to see too. Like what he did with the last trailer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What was the trailer like? Holy shit!
Yes.
Yeah. So hopefully that happens. But anyways, guys,
that's not enough for some people. They're like, oh no.
Oh, I know. Of course not.
But
whatever. But no, this is fun, guys, as always. And, thank you for supporting the channel, supporting all this. Like I said, it just adds to the pirate ship to, try to get something where, like, when it gets to this thing,
we're trying to keep your lights on, Dave.
Yeah, try to keep the lights on and all that stuff. But, when it comes to the community that we try to build here, I mean, that's what it's really all about, and everything. But thank you guys for the added support. And yeah, make sure you guys smash that like, thumbs up before you leave, subscribe, do all that stuff. Until next time, when it comes to the Patreon stream, and maybe we'll get some more people in here that are involved with it and everything.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to post more on Patreon, more exclusive stuff. Did some exclusive stuff today, which I thought was fun and which I'll continue on doing. But anyways, guys, been fun. The Batman. We're going to be talking about this for so much longer.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, we'll talk to you later. Yes.